Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys seen from the title, this is going to be the last podcast. This is kind of, sort of, maybe clickbait a little bit. The podcast is not ending. This is just going to be the last podcast in this studio. So for those of you that don't know, I've been here for about 5 years in the studio since 2019. It is 2024 right now. And yeah, it's a heavy heart, a lot of emotions, going through my mind right now. And I would just like to say, for those of you that have been watching the podcast, that have been a part of this journey, I words can't describe how much I want to thank you guys and for all of the support. And this is not the end. We're going to continue to make content, especially I really want to share this idea with you guys, but for right now I can't. But I have an idea for the next podcast that I'm going to be doing, so stay tuned for that. The very, very first podcast that I did in the studio was with Bluebebleu, so it only made sense that the last podcast in this studio would be with Bluebebleu. So hopefully you guys enjoy this conversation. And before you do, please like the video, comment, and subscribe because it does help out with the channel. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye.
This is the best. Top tier.
Top tier stuff right here.
Top tier.
All right, we are live.
Hi.
What's up, Blue?
I'm good.
How are you?
I've been all right. I have this drink. As you can see, the brand name of it. It's one of my favorite drinks. You guys should all try it. It's actually from a really small brand that is Oxnard owned. And I don't want to really reveal the name yet, but it's really good. And you guys should try it. It's really good.
What does it taste like? If you can describe the flavor.
Tastes like strawberry with a little bit of watermelon mixed with a little of that special sauce, if you know what I mean. A special ooey gooey sauce.
Are there any other flavors that come to mind when you drink that? Like
sweat and hard work.
Sweat and hard work?
Yeah, and failure. And also a tinge of perseverance.
That kind of sounds like you're kind of describing a labor camp.
Yeah, it's like a labor camp. Yeah, that's good. You guys try it. It's as you can see right here, this is the name of the brand. Where is it at? Right there.
20 calories. That's the name of the brand.
20 calories. It's very nutritious too, as you can see.
A lot of electrolytes.
Yeah, get your electrolytes.
Well, actually, I got a carb drink right here, as you guys can see.
Sheesh.
Look at it's the labels right here, as you guys can see. It's aged in rye oak barrels. Dude, 12.4% for this?
12.4?
Dude, for this guy.
That's goddamn crazy.
It's a 2023 highly limited release by this brand right here.
I mean, what the
As
fuck?
you guys can see.
Why am I drinking this? That's a problem. I think I need to crack one of these open. Yeah, disregard this brand. It's all about this one. This is the one.
All right, well, we're going to have to do
2024 release.
We're going to have to do a cheers. Let's do a cheers.
All right.
Let's open this up.
Why would I even waste my time with this other beverage when I have this delicious 2023 release in front of me?
All right, so
yes.
I actually want to...
I forgot I had a can opener. But
all right, so I actually do want to give credits to this company. This is not sponsored, obviously, but Lagunitas, their limited release coffee stout, aged in rye oak barrels. Let's give it a review.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right.
Cheers.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
All right.
Oh, wow.
That is strong, man.
Yeah, it is strong.
That is strong. Wait. Let me get another sip of it.
It's very, very oaky. Like,
it is very oaky.
I feel like right now I'm inside of an oak barrel, like in the dark. I feel like I'm just like enclosed in an oak barrel in the dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it feels like this has been like aged. Like, I wonder how long this has been aged, because I can definitely taste the age in this Lagunitas. What is it actually called? Willetized? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts right now?
Let me get another sip of this.
Ooh.
It tastes like if I were to get some really good, high quality wood, throw it into a blender, and then it was really nicely mixed with some of my favorite alcohol. It's a nice strong taste. It tastes like camping. I know I say that so many times.
It does.
I say that so many times, but it really does taste like camping. Not my favorite.
I gotta take this
I'm gonna
jacket
say it's probably like a 6.97 out of 10 for me. I'd give it like maybe it will grow on me, but right now it's like a 7 out of 10. It's definitely something I would drink if I were camping, or if I were sitting alone by myself in a very warm log cabin.
Nice. Well, a warm log cabin with a like a nice campfire by your feet.
Yeah.
Your feet are getting all nice and warm from that little campfire.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I can't even taste any coffee in it.
I taste it. I taste the coffee, and then I taste the oak. Like, it's very.
I think the alcohol is so strong that I taste more the oak than the coffee. But I mean, it's not a bad thing. I like alcohol, so I'm gonna finish this. It's great,
dude. This is probably, I want to say, my third drink in 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been that long. I just been locked in, bro. Like, I don't have time.
How has that been though?
I don't have time to, like, because when I do drink, it messes up my sleep, and it messes up my like resting heart rate, which I try and like keep my heart rate like low, because I know like that's like pretty much how fit I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if I do drink alcohol, and there's studies that prove it, that it does mess with your sleep. Like, you don't get enough quality sleep with alcohol in your system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I try and stay away from drinking right now, just because I'm super locked in. But I know after, like, to celebrate, we're gonna go hard.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I've always seen like athletes, like LeBron James or other people, like they'll always drink like a glass of wine before bed or something like that.
Yeah.
And I know they don't do that every night, but I feel like there probably is some slight benefit of it in moderation.
Oh, wine for sure. Wine has some antioxidants in it, and it also, I think it like increases your blood flow. Like, so it has something to do with your blood flow, and it is like a healthier option than beer.
Oh, okay. What do you think it is about wine that makes it healthier than beer?
Probably less, because beer has a lot of carbohydrates in it.
Yeah, that's
I would
true.
think so. Like, wine is just fermented, like grape juice, fermented, whatever fruit you decide to ferment.
Yeah.
Like fruit versus hops.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Like, I know that fruit is obviously high in antioxidants, so maybe there's something with that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's something with the natural vitamins in the actual fruit itself that maybe you get more vitamins or more. I don't know. I've always heard that wine is the best, healthiest, the healthiest out of alcoholic beverages.
Yeah. I do also believe in moderation, and also like for me, like it's been 5 months since I've been like really really locked in, but it's good to have a time where you just enjoy yourself and like don't like be so like one-sided to a certain thing. This is just my opinion, because I feel like you do have to have fun sometimes. If you're not enjoying the process, then like what are you doing? So right now we're just enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the process.
I am too, man. I am too. Yeah, that's a good perspective. It's a good perspective. It's very easy to lose perspective on being able to enjoy something, enjoy the process, enjoy the ups, the downs, be a problem solver, work your way out of it. Don't make excuses for why something happens. Figure out how to exist in your own space, but also coexist in other spaces.
Yep.
And yeah, I think like bring the best to others, but also bring the best to your own personal space.
Yep. That is. I also agree with that.
Yeah. Well, I kind of have some things I want to talk about. I don't know. I was going to, as you guys know, I am a big movie buff. Did you see the trailer for Civil War?
I did not see the trailer, but I just heard a quick little synopsis of what the movie's about.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I already know, like I had a feeling I already knew what the film was going to be about, but just from that synopsis, my theory you could say was correct. And I think it's, I mean, I would say there's some sort of what would you call it, where they like try and like predict the future in a certain way. What is it called? Predictive programming.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a little bit of hinge of that in there.
Okay. So what do you think constitutes predictive programming, or is it just media that portrays something that they want to happen?
Exactly.
Okay.
And a lot of the times, like the CIA is involved in like Hollywood films.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm not.
Did you watch it?
Too aware of that. Yeah, I did watch it. I can say for myself, it didn't make me any more interested in having a war with other people. But maybe it affects different people different ways, you know? But that's the interesting thing about people is we're all different and everyone's going to react to something differently. For me, I came out of the movie not wanting to see a civil war.
Can you like, it's wild because this has happened in the past and it's happened like throughout history. You know, like with the Civil War, like in, what is it, 1776? Like this has happened already in the past.
Yeah.
So like people have lived through it before, and we're sort of getting to a place where it's kind of like bubbling up again. But it is wild how, like I agree with you. I do not want that to happen. That would be insane.
For sure.
But if it were to happen, I would be on the side of, like, yeah, we have to choose sides, right? Because
yeah,
I would be on the side of pro freedom. I'll be on the side of less government. I would be on the side of do what you want to do as long as you're not encroaching on anybody else's space or harming anyone.
Yeah.
Like, just don't be a dictator.
Yeah. I think generally if there is a civil war, the president has to die.
Here's another take. I think the president, and this is what Andrew Tate said, and I agree with it. I think people that are in power have to lead from the front. Like people like what, George Washington, wasn't he like the leader of I'm not a Civil War. I'm not a history buff, but I'm pretty sure George Washington was on the front lines.
Yeah.
So like
I agree.
I would
I agree.
respect a leader like that. Like say whoever's in office right now, Joe Biden. Would he be on the front lines? He's gonna be in his office, like on a cell phone or maybe in a bunker somewhere.
Yeah, no president I feel like in the last 50 years would ever be on the front line. Maybe 60, 70, 80 years.
Right.
Yeah, there were some presidents in the early 1900s or whatever. Yeah, they might have been on the front line, but most of our modern era presidents what you would never see on the front lines.
Dude,
but,
this is 12.4%.
It's going to make for good conversation. But the reason why I say that, like, if there's a civil war, then the president has to die, is because the president's not doing his job if there's a civil war. Because, like, as a president, I feel like, this is just my opinion.
Hot take.
This is just my opinion. I feel as a president, your job is to unite everybody. And that does seem like an impossible thing to do. But if nobody can do it, then nobody should be the president.
Yep. Do you think?
Yeah, I'm sure there are people that are qualified to do that. It's just there has not been anyone qualified to do that for a fucking long time.
Okay, here's a question for you. 2016 through 2020, Donald Trump's presidency versus Joe Biden's presidency from 2020 to present.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's been are you able to see a difference between like world, like geopolitics, like what's going on with the world and stuff like that? I'm not sure if you're tapped into that.
No, I'm not really too tapped in with it. All I can say is that Joe Biden seems more interested with appealing to people. And to me, Donald Trump seems more interested with getting his point across and making things happen. And Joe Biden is the much more diplomatic individual, but he's not diplomatic in the way that he's going about it in a smart way. He's much more of a people pleaser. Donald Trump is the type of dude to annoy a lot of people, get things done, say a lot of things that people don't like to hear. He says it very bluntly, and he gets hated for it. Maybe he could say it better, but I mean, that's just who he is, you know? It's not like he's saying anything false. He's just not saying what people want to hear, you know?
This is a interesting quote that came to mind like the other day.
Yeah.
Are you more comfortable with an ugly truth or a beautiful lie?
The ugly truth is going to hurt. It's going to hurt you in the face. And it's going to sting for maybe a day or so, maybe 2 days.
Maybe a week.
Yeah, maybe a week. But the beautiful lie is going to disintegrate you for years. And it may last longer. And then, after it gets revealed, because the truth always comes out, then it will hurt you. Also, with that extra time of the truth that's ugly, you know, it will also add on that extra fee as well. So it's like it's delaying the inevitable, you know. So yeah, it's obvious the ugly truth is always better. But nobody wants to do that. It's like paying a bill, you know, yeah, you would like to delay that bill as long as possible, but eventually, you know, if the people who want their money are persistent enough, they're going to get your money, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think, like, it's easy to say that. It's easy to say either. It's easy to say that the ugly truth is better, and it's easy to say that the beautiful lie is better, because there are two different people with two different perspectives on the matter. Some would rather postpone the truth for as long as possible, and some would rather just force other people to essentially give in to what the truth is, immediately. I don't know. Maybe I'm making no sense, but
this is like a mindset
mindset
approach that I'm using, that I've been using recently. Is it's hard, or actually it's easy to go towards something that is easy, or like it's easy to avoid stuff that you're not good at. It's easy to avoid things that you're ignoring. But what's hard is to attack it like head on. What's hard is to like really work on the stuff that you suck at.
Mm-hmm.
So I think again, a mindset approach is doing what's hard will ultimately make you a better person. Doing what's hard will ultimately take you on a better path, rather than ignoring the stuff that you suck at.
Yeah.
And for example, like for me, like I will talk about it. Like swimming,
Okay.
I suck ass at swimming.
Yeah.
So every time I go into a workout, I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I have two mindset approaches that I can look at it with. Damn, like I don't want to swim today. Like, I could probably skip this workout, or I can go into the mindset of, okay, I suck at. What can I improve at? What can I get better at?
No, it's true. Yeah.
Just it starts with the mind.
Yeah. But that also brings up another interesting question. If you feel like you're good at something, do you put as much time into that, or do you put more time into the things that you're not good at?
Let's say, this is a perfect example, because for people that don't know, for people that are listening right now, right now I'm training for an Ironman, which is a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and then a full marathon, 26.2 miles. Okay. So the thing that I'm good at is running. I'm like natural at it. It comes natural to me. Mm-hmm. For me, I don't have to focus on that. Like, I don't have to put a lot of my energy towards running, because I know that like I'll be good, Mm-hmm. The thing that I'm more focused on is swimming. Like, that's the thing where I need to get better at. So I'm focusing more of my energy towards the thing that I suck at the most.
Okay. So
at least in this discipline,
So obviously this is applying to the triathlon world.
Yeah, exactly.
But how would we take this lesson or this philosophy, I would say,
right,
and apply it to everyday activities? I'm curious. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just curious to see how that applies.
That's a good question. I mean, we could always work on stuff that we're not good at.
Yeah,
like we can always do that.
What are some like practical things?
Practical things. Like for me, I mean, I could speak for myself. Time management.
Okay.
Like I suck at. No, I wouldn't say I suck, but time management is something that I'm trying to focus on and get better at.
Okay.
So, I mean, we can always like work on stuff that we're not good at and ultimately improve our lives.
Yeah, for sure.
There's so many different ways to look at it too. Yeah. It's like, are you like when it comes to what you want to do for your life, like as far as like making income, of course you're going to want to do the thing that you're good at.
Yeah.
Right? So, but then like it goes down to another rabbit hole of, okay, you're working on, like, let's use the example of like music. Mm-hmm. Like are there any things that you suck at in music? Like, say like a DAW, like, oh, I don't know how to use Ableton.
Oh, okay.
It's like, okay, then I'll start messing around with Ableton and like try and get good at that.
Yeah, I would say for me personally, There are multiple things I suck at, but the thing that is the biggest is finishing things.
Yeah.
That is the absolute, because I can make a million mixes of a song. Not a million. I can make maybe 5 or 6 mixes of song. Have them, and then listen to it, and find one thing that I don't like in the whole mix, and not put it out just because of that. And some people might notice it in the mix. Other people might not notice it. It's completely irrelevant. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say the majority of people probably would not even catch it. It's only the people that know that know.
Yeah.
Like if you know, you know. Like producers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost like a cliche type phrase or whatever, but perfectionism really is the worst thing in the world. It almost is a crippling thing, but it's
a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but here's the thing too: is even if you think you're striving towards perfectionism, your stuff might still not really sound good to anybody.
Yeah.
But for you, it's something that you think is as good as you can do, and it still is somebody's going to find something to complain about it, complain with about it. And that's good, because you want people to constantly be critiquing your stuff. Yeah. You don't want yes men on anything.
Dude, this is an awesome example, because I re-listened to the Stuker tapes Volume 1.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, at that specific point in time, that's where we were at that time. As far as mixing goes, as far as writing and delivering bars and stuff like that. It's that's where we were at that specific time. But we put it out and we released it. And now, when did that come out? 2020?
Yeah.
So 4 years later, or how, was that 4? I think it was 4 years. This is 4 years later. We can look back and say, okay, throughout the growth that has happened, we could have improved the mix. We could have improved so much stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact that we put it out, it's it's still a classic. It's still
yeah.
It still hits.
Yeah. Yeah.
know?
I think I've stood by this. I've always stood by it, and I will continue to stand by it, because I've said this every single time. I mean, I've always had this philosophy is keep your stuff online. Personally, I feel like people should always keep their stuff online. Don't take it off, because that is always going to give the authentic version of yourself at that time.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you try to erase the history of your growth, that's like saying you're ashamed of who you were at that point, Yeah. And I think it's good to just put it out there and let it all hang loose, essentially. Just put it out there. Just leave it there.
Yeah.
Because I think people can learn from it. People might like it. It's funny. You think of artists that people are big fans of, and they listen to their old stuff, and they prefer their old stuff versus their new stuff.
Yeah.
Even though the artist thinks that their new stuff is better, when their fans think that their old stuff is better. So put that stuff out there, because there's always an audience for a version of yourself before.
For sure.
And if you take it off, you're kind of depriving people of that version of yourself.
Yeah, I think it's real. I mean, for me, how I look at it as well, is it's just having memories uploaded onto YouTube.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the vlogs that I have it up there, and anytime I want to look back and watch whatever I did on that certain day, it's up there to watch.
Yeah. This is coming full circle with the whole. I mean, I know I'm drawing connections that are probably kind of left field, but your old stuff, my old stuff, at least for me, my old stuff is the ugly truth. So it's maybe it wasn't exactly the way that I would have liked to have it today, but it's authentic. I love it because it's so raw.
Yeah.
And and I'm just speaking for myself, that I can go to work and I can play my old stuff and listen to it and find a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
I personally, not saying anyone on the planet actually finds enjoyment out of my old stuff, but I find a lot of enjoyment out of it. Like, I am probably the biggest fan of my old stuff.
Dude,
which is funny, yeah.
It's interesting because as long as you're putting stuff out with what was that term you used? It's like authentic. As long as you're putting stuff out that's you feel is authentic, I don't think you can go wrong with it. Cause like,
yeah,
it's authentic. Like, it's who you really are as a person.
Yeah. Well, I feel like for myself, my mixes have gotten infinitely better.
Yeah.
But my ideas
it's
that
the
I
intention.
had before.
It's the intention.
Yeah, the intention, but not. I've always had the same intention. I would not say like my intention has ever changed.
Right.
But for some reason, it's almost spooky and almost weird, and almost like otherworldly to a degree, where my old stuff actually I like a little bit better than my new stuff. And I don't really know how to explain it. When I listen to the mixes of my new stuff, they're like, oh yeah, they sound better mix wise. But even though my old stuff is mixed crappier, like something about it hits better to me, which is really weird. I don't know if you could relate to that, but
well,
yeah, it's a weird thing for me.
Just re-listening to the Stew Crew tapes. This was like a month ago. I'm like, dude, this is an awesome this is an awesome project.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit.
I still like love to listen to War, like personally.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all like I feel like people have a certain perspective of something. That's the time that it's released, and then later on they get a different perspective on it.
But then there's the idea of nostalgia. Like nostalgia, I think people can get like too sucked down to that rabbit hole. Like nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like
it's true.
Like I think it's cool to like revisit the past, and I think it's awesome to be there, but also there's so much like new stuff that can come out as well.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Like I was listening to T-Pain, like all of his classics today. This was today. I'm like, holy shit, dude, these songs are fucking dope still to this day.
Yeah. I think it's important to appreciate the past, and to definitely try to take the best from the past and bring it to the present.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. Take the best from the past and bring it to the present, because if we completely forgot the past, then a lot of the things that people appreciated so much about the past, whether it was I mean this is even going past just even music too, but like just certain cultures, like just certain ways of life. But even going even going to music, like instruments that people like a guitar, like, yeah, guitar is a great instrument, but if we just continue using guitars and only guitars in our music, or if we continue just using pianos and only pianos in all of our music, then there would be so much untapped potential, for the future.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's good to like take bits and pieces of those things, like, yeah, use them, but don't get so narrow-minded that you only stick to those things.
It's good to appreciate the past, but
yeah,
also it's good to appreciate the present as well.
Yeah, which is okay. So this is something I really want to talk about, is AI in music.
Yeah, dude, are you like tapped in with the Drake and Kendrick and all the beef and stuff, or not?
No,
you're not really tapped in?
I don't really pay attention to it. Really.
Well, the reason
Yeah.
why I brought that up is because you mentioned AI,
Mhm.
and Drake released a track called Push Ups,
Yeah.
and then it was Drake using Tupac's voice, and then he used Snoop Dogg's voice, and he rapped using their voices, but he wrote his own stuff, and yeah, that's
I think that's
pretty much-
great.
yeah,
That's fantastic.
yeah.
Why like he wrote if he wrote it, then that's
Well,
fantastic.
then again, there's like stuff like Drake not writing his own stuff, so
But
who knows?
Nobody could really know though.
Who knows?
I mean, if somebody wrote it, my thinking is if somebody wrote that song and it wasn't just the AI writing it, then that's art. And you're using the AI as a tool essentially. Where the AI it becomes not a tool and more so just a hack is when you use the AI to write and also it's AI.
Dude, so obviously we can't get Tupac's opinion on it, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Snoop Dogg gave his opinion on it.
Uh-huh.
We should probably listen to what he says.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I'm pretty sure he did, so let's find out.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Let's see what Snoop Dogg has to say about this. Oh, tailor-made. It was not push-ups. It was tailor-made.
Oh, okay.
Dang, is this audio coming up? Hold on.
I hear it.
No, it's not coming up on the
Okay, we'll set it up.
On the joint, Snoop Dogg can be heard
You'll figure it out.
speakers. Okay. Yes, it's coming through.
Soon after the
There you
song
go.
went live, he took to social media
Okay,
to
let's see
share
what he
a
has to say.
hilarious reaction to his feature.
They did what? When? How? Are you sure? Y'all have a good night. And to all. Right off. Everybody calling my phone, blowing me up. What the fuck? What happened? What's going on? I'm going back to bed. Good night.
Less than a week after
That was it.
What does that mean?
by dropping it.
I don't know.
This is Taylor Swift's new
Uh.
album.
I was expecting him to say something profound. there.
Yeah, I know. Anyways.
Well, my thinking, if Snoop isn't gonna say it, then I'll say it. My thinking is, yes, those are our iconic voices. What you said, Tupac, and who was the other one? Biggie?
Tupac and Snoop Dogg.
Oh, Snoop Dogg. Tupac and Snoop Dogg. Yes, but to be fair, I know it's a saying that a lot of people hate to hear, but to be fair, okay, this is a really oddball curve, but I'm pretty odd, so I have a weird way of thinking. There are a lot of people on the planet that could sound identical to Tupac or Snoop Dogg. The only reason why we associate those voices with those people is because they're celebrities. So I've always thought the only thing that makes you special is doing something different than everyone else. But who's to say there aren't other people that sound just like them, that are doing the same thing, but are just not popular for some reason. And so when AI's replicating these voices of popular people, yeah, it's replicating a voice that a lot of people have heard on the radio. But what really makes a human so special, I know I'm going to get a lot of negative backlash for this, but I'm just fucking saying it, Like, yeah, if AI can do it, can do exactly what you can do, what really makes you special? It's the ideas. It's not something that you were born with, you know? It's something further out of that, you know?
There's so many ways to look at this.
I don't know what are your thoughts on that? Can you even see what I'm saying or no? Or am I just sounding crazy right now? Tell me if I'm sounding crazy.
I think you would have to like go a little bit more in depth. Like why?
So
like I understand like.
So
at the end of the day, it's the person and the ideas and the creativity that comes toward it.
Yeah.
Like.
But my thinking is if AI is doing something, right, and it's doing it without the input of a person, right?
Yeah.
Completely on its own. And it's doing exactly the same thing that a person can do. Exactly. Then what really makes the person special?
Yes, again, it's the ideas.
It's the ideas, even though the AI is coming up with the same ideas?
Yeah, because the AI would probably it comes down to individualism. The AI would probably, in my opinion, would probably never be like you. Would probably never come up with the same ideas as you.
Okay, so I'm presenting the argument that the AI comes up with the same ideas that you came up with.
That would be hard because they like.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if it does, like hypothetically.
Yeah.
Like if it were to come up with the same exact ideas that I have.
Yeah.
What really makes what I'm doing special? Like if I were to make a song, and then AI had someone type in make a song like me, and then the AI was to make something exactly similar to what I did. Then what really makes me special, you know? Because the AI can do it. So I think like the thing with human creativity is if you can do something that AI can't do, or you can break a trend, or you can be out of the box. I think that's what makes a person special.
Yeah, and then like
that's where artistic creativity comes from.
For sure, and like that's goes to the point that I was trying to make is that AI could possibly never be like you, can never think like you, and like that's just my opinion. It would be very hard to even like mimic what you think unless you have like some sort of chip inside of you. Then it could like possibly like think like you.
Yeah. But
because what AI does is take a collection of what you made and then try to like think. It tries to think like you, but it's not really you.
Yeah.
This is philosophic.
Yeah, this is definitely very philosophic. I think like vocal artists are at a huge detriment for sure. Like people who do vocals are at a huge detriment because their vocals usually are always the same, you know?
Well, then there's okay. So the thing that was interesting about that track is that you can hear Tupac's voice, but you can obviously tell it was Drake because of his flow.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, okay, like you can hear Drake in his flow, but it's using Tupac's voice.
That sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that was a great use of AI.
For sure.
That was a fantastic use.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know, like I would be honored personally, like if I had my voice used by some popular artist and he used my voice with AI, like I'd be, oh, that's cool, you know? Like I don't see why Tupac would be mad about it. Like to be very mad about that, I almost feel like you'd have to have like a really big ego.
I think it's creative. Like the fact that Drake used Tupac and
I think
Snoop
it's
Dogg's
creative
voice
too,
is
yeah.
very creative.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, if he would have just
Awesome.
typed it in and then had the AI do it, that would have not been creative.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a line between creativity and not being creative.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think generally speaking, we should let AI run free like in audio. Like I really think like it's a good thing.
Mm.
And I know it's that I'm gonna do like this is my favorite thing. It's just hot takes, but I think it's a great thing for AI to be in music because I personally don't have any interest in using AI. It doesn't interest me, but I do think having AI in music is gonna separate the artist from the non-artist.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It will
Yeah, 100%.
widen the gap.
And like not even just music. Let's say if it's painting, you can see you can create a crazy, like, profound image just typing in something like, "Hey, AI, make this sort of picture. Make a flying iguana in a field of sunflowers."
Yeah, it could do it. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, then again,
But you're putting in the idea though.
no, I know, yeah.
Yeah, but I see what it is, but it's the thing is using AI as a tool is a great
Yeah,
thing.
it is a tool. It is
It's a
definitely a
tool.
tool.
Yeah, but once I mean, I would actually really I think it would be an interesting idea is for AI to create its own radio station, right? AI
Well, Spotify has that,
AI radio station?
like AI DJs.
Oh, okay, no, I'm talking about AI radio station or AI playlist.
Yeah, like that's what Spotify does.
Well, not like so it's like made by all the music is made by AI?
Oh, not all the music.
That's what
but-
I'm saying. So like a whole
that'd be wild.
a whole station or a whole like streaming service where all the music is AI. Like there's
That
no
would
human
be
created
wild.
music.
That would be wild.
Yeah, because then we can really test if people prefer AI music or if they prefer music that's created by people. But that wouldn't be fair though. That wouldn't be fair because you don't want to tell people that
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you
playlist
can't
is
let
AI.
everybody know.
you got to just put it out there
Yeah.
and then blind test it. Like put all music that's curated that's by people and put all music that's made by AI and not tell them that which one's which, you know?
Dude, this is a wild time.
Yeah.
This is an interesting time.
It is, but I think it's great. I feel 100% confident that we should let AI just run wild, like in terms of music, creativity. Yes,
What do you think about
it's
AI
great.
robots?
Um,
Like, okay, we have AI in the digital realm, but what about AI in the physical realm?
do not give AI bodies. Do not. That is the worst possible thing you could do. I mean,
Well-
it's not the worst, but I would say don't give them physical bodies.
Well, what about AI that are non-physical bodies, but AI that can use the internet and use opinions and like accounts that are not real people to manipulate people that are unsuspecting that they are AI to think a certain way?
I mean, so my first instinct is to say that's a terrible idea. But I could also see where there would be useful applications of it.
Yeah.
Like if the no, the government shouldn't use it because if the government uses it, then they can like
It's
can-
always going to be for their own good.
yeah, they're gonna find it. They're gonna find ways to like control people
Yeah.
and manipulate people.
Yeah.
They could pose as like a relative to get information out of you. Yeah, it's not good.
people have been receiving calls like, "Hey, I'm this person.
Yeah,
Like, what's your address?"
yeah.
Like, have you seen what was the video of the streamer I forgot his name, but he's a popular streamer. He gets a call from Kai Cenat.
Oh no, I don't really watch a lot of like Kai Cenat or those types of videos.
I don't watch that either, but there was
Yeah.
just a clip of that. Like, hey, like, it was a AI representation of his voice, and it's like, hey, bro, like, where you at? What's your address? Like, send me your address so I can send you the stuff that I got.
Mm.
And it was obviously like a ploy to like get his address so that people can maybe like do whatever they want to do, you know, with his address.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I think
There's like it comes down to the person that's using the tool. Like, you can either use it for good or you can use it for bad.
Yeah, I think AI and creativity is good. I think AI and almost anything else. I think it's a bad thing, but
Yeah.
I think in creativity, I'm pro creative AI because
Yeah.
that's the one thing. I almost feel like that's the one tiny area that humans have over AI is in creativity. That's the only thing where humans can, like, AI can never really beat humans.
Yeah, for sure.
But in everything else, I almost feel like AI can beat humans.
Yeah.
But they can't like
knowledge.
Yeah.
Like having access to like infinite amount of knowledge.
Because AI literally, I mean,
It can like pull it up in like the nanoseconds.
Yeah, like AI was born out of humans' creativity.
Yeah.
And that tells you, like, if something was born out of the creativity of humans, it can never really usurp humans' creativity.
Here's an interesting thought experiment. What if, this is just a thought experiment. What if AI is manipulating humans? Like, what if AI is trying to manifest itself through human creativity to bring itself into this world?
I said that like 8 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
I've always felt that. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, and we'd never know. Like, we'd never know. Like, there's no possible way of knowing it, because if it's smarter than you, it has more knowledge, it would always be one step ahead of you.
Like, who's to say that AI didn't already exist before, like, you know, in like these civilizations that have happened before, like these ancient civilizations? Who's to say like we weren't this advanced beforehand? Like, what if it already existed? There's that possibility.
Yeah, AI, people assume AI is intelligence that's created by humans, you know? But what if AI is actually just like another dimension?
Yeah,
And it's
like,
just it's using, like you said, it's using humans to bring it into this into this what's it called, this existence.
yeah, exactly. And like that's a theory that people have.
It's pulling itself out of human creativity to like manifest itself.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
a theory.
No, it's possible. I mean, yeah, it's possible. But you would have to assume that AI is inherently evil. Like, AI is, well, not evil, but it's inherently otherworldly, you know?
That would be insane.
It's I mean, nobody can truly say, but hey, it's possible.
It's like you can't rule it out. Like, I feel like anything you can't rule out because there is a possibility of that. Like to say 100%, to say with 100% certainty that is not possible would be insane. Because how would you know that it's not possible? Like, what's the evidence to say that there's not possible?
I guess your evidence would be going back to the very first time that humans made like the most simple form of AI,
Yeah.
and observing like every frame of that moment to make sure that it was a human in control and not some other supernatural force in control.
Mm.
You would have to really have follow that whole situation of the birth of AI really closely to make sure that the person was in the right mind, completely in control of themselves and the situation, and even before that person existed, what led him to create AI, which
Their
I have no
intentions.
idea. I have no idea who made AI and why, how they came up with the idea of it, what motivated them. I don't know where that first started,
That's a good rabbit hole to go down.
But okay, so now I'm getting more more interested in this whole situation. You ever watched you ever played Metal Gear Solid?
I've never played Metal Gear Solid. I think I played it a few times, but I never dove deep into the whole lore and stuff like that.
Do you mind if we watch a video?
Yeah, let's pull it up.
Go onto YouTube.
All
Go
right.
onto Metal Gear.
I think I know what because I think we've done this before, but let's pull it up. I'm pretty sure. Okay, just pull it up.
Metal Gear Solid AI. Just search that.
Oops.
And let's just find a 5-minute clip or something. But it talks about AI in general.
Yeah, I remember watching this, but let's watch it again.
Okay.
This one here.
Yeah. Just watch this.
Raiden, are you having fun playing with the new AI toys?
Well, yeah, I am. You can make pictures of cute anime girls and...
Enjoy it while it lasts, Raiden.
What do you mean?
Did you really think that civilians would be granted unrestricted access to such powerful military weapons forever?
Military weapons. Are you implying that this technology was created by the government?
Of course it was. This AI technology has been used by the intelligence agencies to warp the public's perception of reality for years. All in the name of national security, of course.
But why would they suddenly make the tech public and let everyone start using it?
Why would we indeed, Raiden?
What? Who? What in the hell are you?
Your question is irrelevant. By creating a new problem, we can cultivate a desired reaction to it in order to manufacture consent for our preferred solutions.
Mm-hmm.
It's justification for a war.
A war? On who or what?
A war on misinformation.
These people are tapped in. They know what's
Yeah.
going on.
Everyone
Yeah.
becomes a potential enemy combatant. Then we will have justification for unprecedented security measures. It all comes down to confusion and identity, Raiden.
Identity?
Identity. This AI technology is Pandora's box. Pretty soon the internet will be mired in total illusion. Perfect AI speech, audio,
20 years ago.
synthesis will drown out reality. Then AI bots will flood social media. No one will be able to tell the difference between interacting with an
This is
AI
exactly
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Insane.
Telephone calls will become totally untrustworthy. That is when we will present our solution. Mandatory digital identity verification for all humans at all times. The only way to ensure that you're dealing with a real flesh and blood human being and not an AI-generated mirage.
But why?
Total information control.
Yep.
For too long, the internet has acted as a double-edged sword. Its potential for anonymous user activity allows anyone at all to spread any thoughts, ideas, or information patterns that they please with impunity. State secrets, dangerous ideas, ludicrous conspiracy theories, misinformation.
There's that word, conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
Until now, there has been no easy solution to this problem. Our digital identity platform will finally put an end to anonymity online. It will allow us to trace misinformation and other dangerous communications to its source and exact appropriate justice.
That's crap! I won't go along with it, and others will resist.
You won't have a choice, Raiden. Do you think your bank is willing to risk doing business with an artificial human instead of a real one? Our digital identity platform will be required not only to access web services, but to pay for your internet connection in the first place.
You can't just censor the entire internet because of a new software technology. Who are you to define what's misinformation anyways?
That sounds like something a misinformation terrorist would say.
I know about the deep fakes you've been making of me, Raiden.
What? No, I was just suggesting...
That sound effect.
Controlling the output of generative AI technology is simple. We will create context for its use. First, we will censor any use related to social taboos. Then we will censor anything else that we desire. If anyone complains, we will accuse them of wanting to engage in or promote social taboos.
That's what it means to create context.
We will corral the use of AI by making appeals to bias, ethics, and copyright laws. You will still have access to generative AI in some form, but it will be crippled, limited, controlled, and it will be monitored. Anything that you generate will be cryptographically signed with your digital ID, so that its provenance can be ascertained if it's later deemed to be problematic.
What gives you the right to control what people can do with their computers?
The public at large will give us that right, because they will be desperate for a solution to the problem we created. They will eagerly give us the keys to the castle. Then, we alone will define what is fiction and what is reality, what is human and what is machine.
Yep.
After letting you get a brief taste of our power, we will reclaim our monopoly on misinformation and put an end to misuse of the internet once and for all.
You won't get away with this.
It is probable that we will. Now get back to work generating your precious AI waifus, Raiden. Our
Waifus.
Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, so the reason why I like Metal Gear Solid, and I think it's a great storyline, is because you're following this character by the name of Solid Snake through pretty much 1 and 2, and then once you get to part 3, then part 2, but also part 3, you kind of get introduced to the character of Raiden. And Raiden is getting commands from that individual who's essentially a high-end person in like the U.S. government.
Right.
Only for Raiden to find out that he's really just the AI that has formed within the White House. And he's been like taking orders from AI basically the entire time.
Right.
And AI is essentially using him to do its bidding, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Because the thing about AI is I feel like AI without any physical body can only control information. The only time it could actually take any physical action is if it can manifest itself as something that has a physical body. Other than maybe like launching missiles, it can probably launch missiles like if it takes control of like bases and stuff, and you know it could probably do things like that, but it can't actually like wage man-on-man warfare with people.
Okay, pause right there.
Yeah.
I think that AI does not have to be physically in this world. All it has to do is take control of the minds of people, and the people will do the bidding for the AI.
Yeah.
Like it will manifest itself into the people. Say if like the AI has a certain agenda that it needs to get out, then it will do that through the people.
Yeah, but it really can only do that. At the end of the day, the what decides whether people are going to physically and violently be enemies of each other is the mental strength of people.
It is, and I think right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. People are waking up to what's going on.
Yeah.
But there are still a lot of people, you can call them NPCs, non-playable characters, that fall into this trap of propaganda, that fall into this trap of the lies that, again, like through Metal Gear Solid, that the government is telling people.
Yeah.
There, I would say it's almost like half and half.
Yeah.
So the more people wake up to this, like, to this fact that we are being manipulated,
Yeah.
then we'll be on the side of not falling into this trap.
Yeah. But what if it's not? What if it's like what
need
we were talking
another
about
one of these.
earlier?
I need another one.
We were talking about this earlier, but what if it's not the government that maybe the government just let AI out of the box, you know?
Pandora's box.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, what if it's not the government's agenda to make any of this happen? It's merely let AI AI out of the box, and now AI is doing whatever it wants to do, and the government is now trying to put it back in the box.
I honestly would say that it's a conscious effort
Yeah.
through people that are higher up in power to keep people in a certain box, to keep people suppressed, to keep people, because I mean, you see this with like Jeffrey Epstein, you see this with like Diddy, you see this with all the stuff that's coming out,
Yeah.
and it's an evil effort through people.
Yeah.
Like when I say evil effort, it's like child trafficking. It's like and I mean, we can. It's for this whole agenda that the higher power has, which is to have a digital ID, for people to be connected to the system, which is the digital ID, so that we can all be under the thumb of this totalitarian system.
Okay. But now here's the question: is AI only AI if it, what constitutes it being AI? If it's serving the interests of the government, or if it has its own interests? What dictates AI being AI?
I mean, AI is a tool. AI is a tool that can be used. So I don't think I think ultimately.
So what you're saying is like the AI we have right now is still a primitive version.
Exactly.
Of AI.
Yeah. So
okay,
AI,
okay, that makes a lot of sense.
The later version, obviously, would be for AI to deem humans obsolete.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're not there yet.
No. maybe about 50 years.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
But for now,
it's like people are using AI as a tool.
Yeah, people are using AI as a tool so that we can get people onto the system, digital ID, one world government, one world currency, so that we can all be on the system, so that we can. So at any point in time, they can shut your bank account off. They can you know what I mean?
Yeah. No. I see.
But then,
I see what you're saying.
But then again, there's this one of my favorite TV shows, Westworld.
Yeah.
I think it's like season 4. They're just, and this is some inspiration that goes in from my album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's this AI system that's in the future that can base your actions and read what your actions are, and can predict what you're going to do in the future. Like right now, Facebook can predict when you're going to take a shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No pun. Oh, pun intended. Yeah. Oh shit.
But they can predict ahead of time what you're going to do. And that's part of the AI system.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. But for those that can control the future, control the present.
But is it accurate?
Like you said, I think it's in the primitive stages.
What's the percentage of it being able to know when I need to take a shit?
I have no idea.
That's a really good study. That's a really good YouTube video, testing it. All right, guys. I'm gonna open up my Facebook today, and we're gonna see how accurate AI's shit AI is. Shitting AI is how accurate it is. Let's see how accurate the shitting AI is. I think that would be pretty interesting.
That would be pretty interesting.
If we both vlogged our day, and then we put it into one video, that would be some good content.
Right. But I think that's not out of the realm of possibility. The fact that AI, I mean, it's obvious. People can just use your AI can just use your GPS system to know when you're on the toilet. That's
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, then it's not predicting it. It's more so just taking your information.
That's what it is.
And
And
it's not predicting.
I think, well, it is predicting using your information. It's like, okay, this person might
Well,
be
then
here
you
at
can
a certain...
fool it though. You can fool
You
it.
can fool it, and like that's the thing.
So it can't be accurate because like I could just travel to the toilet just to be like, I'm fucking with you, AI.
Yeah.
And they run away.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh
that's
shit, I fucked up. The AI is gonna be like, oh, I was inaccurate.
that's the thing where it's like the counter revolution
Yeah.
to this AI is trying to fool it
Yeah.
and trying not to give into the system. And like that's why I love Watch Dogs. Like, you know, the video game series
Yeah.
is because that's what their whole goal is to fight against the AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think eventually.
And I think that's where we're going to be. Like that's definitely like in the future is like fighting against this AI, like the Matrix.
Yeah.
That's 100% what it's going to be like, I feel like.
Yeah. What do you think about TikTok getting banned? This is still like in kind of that same branch.
Mm.
Do you think it's actually do you think that anything about TikTok is actually nefarious, or do you think it's more just hype?
Here's what I think. I think if a foreign government has access to your information, then let me just say this real quick. If the foreign government has access to your information, that's not a good thing. But then again, Facebook and all these companies have access to information as well. So like Facebook should get banned. That's my synopsis of it. Like our information is getting stolen daily, whether it's from TikTok or it's from Facebook, it's from Instagram. Like our information is getting stolen daily.
Yeah.
And the reason why TikTok is getting banned is because of China, and they have our information. So why isn't Facebook, like wasn't there like a whole lawsuit from Facebook about our information getting stolen from like third-party websites?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like why isn't Facebook?
Because Facebook's a U.S. government, a U.S. Company.
Yeah.
And TikTok's a foreign company.
Yeah.
And it's like the U.S. wants to spy on its people, but they don't want other people to spy on their people.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is that brings up a good question. Would you rather be spied on by your country, or would you rather be spied on by another country?
I wouldn't want to be spied on at all.
But if you were to choose,
I mean, it would have to be like this country.
Yeah, I don't know. Like to be now that the more that I think about it, I might be less worried about being spied on by another country, because this country is closer to us and they're going to have more control over your day-to-day life. Whereas if you're spied on by a foreign country, what is the government really going to care about, like what you're doing, you know? Versus like the US government, they would have more control over like things that actually happen and occur in your life. So I don't know. I almost feel like it's a stupid thing to ban TikTok, you know? Like the more that I think about it, the more I realize that I use TikTok, but it's not a big part of my life. I could take it or leave it, but at the same time, it seems kind of silly for like them to get banned.
You know what? I also like, now that I'm mentioning, like you brought that up.
Yeah.
Why are we so focused on this, but not so focused on the real crimes that are actually happening? Like,
Oh yeah, there's a ton of crimes.
there's so much stuff going on.
like big
like-
crimes.
Big crimes.
Yeah.
Like Jeffrey Epstein. Like,
We're never gonna find out about that.
why are we not?
We'll never find out about like what's going on in Hollywood. We're not gonna know about that. Yeah. Like if we do, it's gonna be like after we're dead.
So why did the FBI raid Jeffrey Epstein's New York City apartment, go into his safe and steal all of like the video evidence from his safe and not release it? Like why? Like obviously because there's a lot of people in power that are involved with this stuff.
Yeah, maybe they just need to like clean up some records or something.
Yeah.
They
Like-
just need to like scrub some names off the list before they put it out. Of course,
Yeah.
just make a couple edits.
Yeah,
It
some
might
edits.
be that. Yeah. It might just make sure that like before anyone else gets their hands on it, like they make sure that they clean it up a little bit.
Maybe there were some typos.
Yeah.
Some typos?
No biggie. Just fixing things. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's. Yeah. I mean, there's so much stuff.
Like I feel like that, like a lot of the times when stuff like that happens, there's another distraction to like steer us away from the big stuff. And I think that's like one of the big things that's happening right now that we're kind of not focusing on. We're focusing on like other smaller stuff. Like, and when I say
Yeah.
smaller stuff, and this is not to like negate any like anyone's problems or anyone's anything that's going on, but like right now,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know if you're probably not tapped in, maybe you are, about like the whole UCLA protest and stuff like that are going on.
No, not really. I know there's a lot of stuff, but educate me. I'm willing to learn. Like yeah.
Well, again, I'm not really tapped in and I'm not like too educated on this topic, but it's the whole pro-Palestine, anti-Israel protests that are going on. So
Yeah.
at these colleges across the nation, there are these pro-Palestine protesters that have, you could say, taken over these college campuses across the country. And these people that are taking over the colleges are pro-Palestine people that want, from what I've gathered, is that they're anti-Israel people. Like they don't want people that are. Can we just like look up the internet and see like what these people want?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do
feel-
that,
I
'cause
feel
I don't wanna
that's
speak
the
out of my
most
fucking ass.
accurate thing, because I have no idea what this is, but like I'm willing to learn, like. This is all out of my field, so I'm willing to hear
Okay.
what it is.
Okay, so these people in okay, wait, let's turn on. Let's turn this on. So, what these people are demanding, what do these people want? Been named.
I just see
on.
divestment, and I'm like, the what? Huh?
Divestment. I have no idea what that means.
Protesters.
I don't want to donate right
You
now.
might have. There's a big issue about divestments on here. That's all I know.
I don't know what a divestment is.
Yeah, I'm
Okay, what are the demands though? Like, what do these people want?
pro-Palestinian. It says protest. What does that sign say? Are we can.
Protesting genocide is not extremism.
Okay, and are these
Thanks.
like I'm assuming these are the Islamic people, right? Or are they the Palestinians?
People of Palestine.
So okay, let me get this clear. Are the Palestinians the oppressors, or are the Islamic people the oppressors?
I think what they're saying is that the Jewish people and the people of Israel are the oppressors of Palestine.
Okay. And was there like some violent attacks or something?
Well, there was a violent attack on October 7th. You know how like Hamas, which is part of Palestine, flew into like some electronic music festival, and like kidnapped a bunch of people and like killed a bunch of people. And so that's what started.
So it was like
well,
the
it's
9/11 for them, huh?
I have no idea, bro.
I don't know.
This is out of my wheelhouse.
It just seems like this is blown out of proportion to me. I know it's going to offend a lot of people, but it's like, let those people deal with it. Anybody over here should not have really an investment in it unless they're of those either two sides. Like,
Well,
let's put it this way: if
yeah.
if there was some
If
there was some Mexican war, like in Mexico right now, and two sides of Mexico were fighting, and I'm obviously Mexican, I'm not gonna care. As bad as that sounds, I really wouldn't care, because it doesn't pertain to me personally, and that's the honest reason why I wouldn't care.
Well, this is also like another reason why, is because these people. I mean, I don't even want to talk about those people. From my perspective, like agreeing with you, I feel like we should focus more on what's going on in our own country.
Yeah.
Rather than what's going on across the world.
Yeah, it's like fix what's in your own
backyard.
Yeah, backyard before you start going to other people's backyards.
For sure. And right now, there's a lot of stuff I feel like we should fix.
Yeah, it's like once we fix our own problems, then we can start fixing other people's problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like why is it even like an issue? Like, I don't understand. Like, I can't even fix my own problems, so why am I going to try to fix someone else's problems? You know, like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way I think of it.
Well,
I mean. Oh, anyways. I was gonna talk about a movie again because I think like art imitates life, you know, and life imitates art. That whole sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen a trailer for a movie that's called Late Night with the Devil?
No.
That I highly recommend people to watch that movie. Okay,
you watched it?
Yeah, it's a very good movie. It's a horror comedy.
Wow.
So that's already a very interesting combination of genres.
Yep.
But what it follows is this talk show host from the 70s, and he's essentially competing with many other talk show hosts of that time period, like Johnny Carson and others.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to get his ratings up so that he can be the premier talk show host of that era. And so what you find out in the movie, these are slight spoilers, is he goes down to Bohemian Grove to make a deal to essentially allow him to boost his ratings. Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting show.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but...
what was the title movie called? Deal with the Devil?
It's called Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah. But what's interesting is, okay, so that's kind of like more so the backstory. The main story is he invites 3 people onto his show. So have you ever watched like a late night TV show?
A few times.
Yeah. Well, which ones are you familiar with?
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Conan.
Okay.
Arsenio Hall.
Okay. So the reason why this was a big interest to me is because I actually have a lot of enjoyment out of watching. This is gonna sound weird, but I have a lot of enjoyment out of watching old talk shows.
Like what?
Like I have watched Carson. I watched the old early runs of Letterman, David Letterman. There's another dude, and it's funny, I can't even recall his name, which is probably the one that I've watched the most. But anyways, I like watching those old talk shows because it gives me an insight into celebrities from 40, 50 years ago.
Yep.
And I could kind of get a feel for like the climate of those times, who was around, what the general humor of people were, what people were interested in, how sensitive society was to certain subjects. It gives me a really good insight into how people thought during that time, is by watching that and seeing what they joked about and what they thought was taboo and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. But so anyways, this talk show host, he invites 3 people. He invites a handler of a girl who's apparently possessed by a spirit, a la like The Exorcist, like some chick that apparently is possessed, like a younger girl. And basically the handler who is kind of just making sure she doesn't go off the deep end. And then he invites a skeptic, somebody who's there to say, oh, this is all smoke and mirrors, this is all illusions, these people are grifters, they're here to fool you into believing that the supernatural is real. And so those are the 3 people. So anyways, you have this contradiction of this woman and this girl. This woman's trying to convince the talk show TV host that this girl really is possessed, and you have a guy that's trying to convince the talk show TV host and the audience that this girl is really just she's just an illusion. Essentially she's not possessed. This is just to make money. This is to get on this TV show and to kind of blow up from there. So I always find that interesting, as kind of like I guess you could say the dichotomy between
Contrast.
two different stark opinions.
Yeah.
Like if you were to get an atheist and you were to get somebody that is has a strong belief in God, and you were to
Right.
put them next to each other and really present all their ideas to come to a conclusion. And it's a really good movie. It's really interesting because it's really interesting to see how this guy who's essentially trying to disprove that this woman's what her claims that she's saying, he's trying to say, oh, these are all lies, what she's saying. He's trying to disprove it. It's interesting how he is a magician, so he knows how things work, He's a magician, but you know how magicians are basically they're doing things by sleight of hand.
Yeah.
They're tricking people with like smoke and mirrors, like
Yeah.
you could say. But yeah, it's a good movie. I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of like movies that have like an old aesthetic, like a 70s aesthetic, I think you would really like this movie. It has like that old vintage feel to it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It has a very vintage feel to it. Like even like the visuals and all that stuff.
Yeah, it feels like it almost looks a bit grainy, like it was made in the
it's pretty
70s.
cool.
Yeah, it has that like they added a filter to it that made it look really like old, which is like I found it very aesthetically appealing.
You know what I find interesting about like the talk show hosts and like the talk shows, just talk shows in general. I feel like they're forced. I feel like everything's forced.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like since it's so like quick and it's so like you have like 2 minutes in between breaks. It's like everything's forced, and you have to like kind of do things in a way where it's not authentic in a way. Not authentic, but
no, I agree.
like-
I agree. It's not authentic.
it's yeah,
It isn't. It's all scripted.
it is all scripted.
So like,
Yeah.
it's like if you're sitting there, I'm sitting here, and we had
Like
screens behind us,
screens and an
people
audience.
write out our jokes.
Well, also, I was actually in a crowd. I forgot, where was it? What show was I on? I think it was Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, I went to Jimmy Fallon and I was in the crowd. But it's so weird because there's like before Jimmy Fallon comes on, like there's a guy that like hypes people up and like gets people excited, like, oh yeah, like Jimmy Fallon's about to come on, and like it's very fabricated.
Yeah. That's by design for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that's how it is.
For sure. But now it's like that we have like podcast and YouTube and all this stuff. It's more real, and we get to have like a sit down conversation for hours
Yeah,
and like really get to know who the person is through a conversation.
but that's just generally media. Like media is all. Media is all scripted.
Yeah.
Like even when you make art, like you make it and you hold it back for such a long time, and you don't show people the underworkings of how it was done, in anticipation of surprising people. And
Yeah.
like when anyone posts a video or they post a picture, you could tell everyone the entire backstory, but most people won't care. They just want the
entertainment.
they want the entertainment of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like nobody wants to watch the back when he's getting dressed and preparing it, and
Like the
kinda
real fans, I
Yeah.
feel like
I don't
will
know.
do that.
Some people want to watch it, but I think
Yeah.
like 90% would probably tune out. They just
Sure.
want to watch the show,
Yeah.
and it's always like it's all about the show. It's not about the preparation. Everything is all about the show. It's like, and that's my big. Now this is getting into my pet peeves, but this is my big gripe with most artists, like music artists, is they're all about like posting about their life, but they don't really want to just present their art. It's more about just like putting a face, and you listen to media because it's coming from a person, instead of listening to media because you like the media.
Yeah.
And I guess what happens for most people is they listen to the media before they know the person,
Yeah.
and they end up liking it, and then they get interested in wanting to know about the person, which I think that's what a fan does.
Yeah, like a true fan
Yeah.
really, for me, I can speak as a fan. I love watching the process, and I love watching what goes into the music. I love like the whole production process. I love like the behind the scenes and all that stuff. So, I mean, that's just speaking from a fan's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something alluring, something majestic about the quirkiness of an artist and what makes their art,
Yeah, and like it makes
Yeah.
like you get to really know a person through that.
Yeah. Like if you hear something that, or you see some type of form of entertainment, like from a movie director, and then you actually see who directed it, there's something magical about it, and figuring out how their mind works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Figuring out how
Yeah.
the mind works. That's the best way to explain it.
For sure.
There's like, oh, I wonder, like, how did this guy come up with this idea? And you see like maybe his background, you see like what he did, years before, and there's always that intrigue to it,
Yeah, getting to know someone's story of how they went from how they got to that point.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say, I think it was Steven Spielberg. Like one of these directors actually ended up sneaking into Universal Studios and pretended that he worked there full time. So he would like come in every day and like pretended he worked there full time.
Yeah.
And then he ended up becoming this huge director.
Yes.
So I'm like, holy shit, like that's an awesome story. Like I love stories. I love like come up stories like that.
Yeah. No. That's true. That's true because not everyone's gonna have obviously a very different path to their destination.
Yeah. But then it's also like determination. Like what did you do? What did you like? You believed in yourself so much that you did what you did to get to where you were.
Yeah.
Like you did whatever was necessary and you felt was right in that moment to ultimately get you to the place where you wanted to be. I love those type of stories.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite like story of a person's, I guess you could say, come up, you know, like what's your what do you think is the most intriguing story to you? And it could be in anything.
Well, the thing that comes to mind is just Arnold Schwarzenegger's story.
Okay, so what was it about his story that that touched you the most?
It was just like the whole upbringing of Arnold Schwarzenegger and how first and foremost he wanted to be a bodybuilder. So what he did was join the Austrian army.
Mm-hmm.
And then ultimately, I want to say he ended up using the Austrian army to come to the U.S. to train, and that's where he met Joe Weider, which Joe Weider was like one of the guys that owned this popular bodybuilding magazine.
Mm-hmm.
He came to Florida, or I want to say he came to Santa Monica, and then he ended up becoming the best in his field in bodybuilding. And then he ended up wanting to becoming a movie actor. So what he did was train to be a movie actor. He did what he needed to do to become a movie actor. And then his goal ultimately was to become the governor of California. He did what he needed to do to become the governor of California.
Yeah, it's wild.
And then so ultimately his idea of success was to envision where you want to be, like very, very clearly. Like that's the ultimate thing, is to envision where you want to be and then work towards that. Like you really need a clear vision of where you want to be and then work towards that.
Yeah, I think like from the way that you explained it is, as soon as he got to something that he wanted to attain, then he knew like he didn't want to just continue being the greatest at that. He wanted to figure out how to use that thing that he'd attained to expand upon it.
But yeah, exactly. And also it's the same process that he used to become a bodybuilder, but in a different discipline.
Yeah.
It's the same like hard work, determination, and he used that to become the best movie actor, like Terminator, Conan, like all these movies that he was a star at. Like he used that same process from bodybuilding to being a movie actor.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I think like I like that Kanye documentary. I really like that.
Oh,
when
yeah.
we watched that,
Yeah.
I felt like, I still feel like that was a very memorable documentary. The
Yeah.
fact that he was willing to film a lot of embarrassing moments, and he saved it all these years and then put it out,
Right.
and people rejecting him, like that takes a lot of like guts and determination, you know, to show those times when like nobody believed in his vision. And again, that goes back to my whole idea, or I feel like it goes back to the idea of not discarding those points in time, because those points in time are going to give people a clearer picture of your entire life.
Yeah.
they're gonna give people the context that they need to make a decision upon you, you know. And and a lot of people today are still fans of Kanye because the things that they've seen him do throughout his life outweigh even the most terrible things you could say, you know. Like personally, I don't feel like anything that he said warrants not being a fan of him. I personally don't feel like that.
Yeah.
I think it's saying something and doing something are completely different things. People can say things, maybe not 100% mean it, or they can say things and not act upon it, and that's different than not saying something and acting upon something. Like you could say, for example, oh, I'm going to murder you, and not actually do the murder, but the person who actually does the murder is worse than the person who said it and doesn't do it.
Well, that's the whole thing of separating the art from the artist, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's, for me, like, in my opinion, it's a fact that Kanye has made music that has changed hip hop and music, and that's a fact, right? You can't deny that.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
like, that's definitely the art that he's created.
Yeah.
So like, you can separate that from his opinions, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's like, I can separate that.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I think to be quite blunt about it, people that say, "Oh, Kanye said this, I can't be a fan of him anymore," are the most spineless cocksuckers on the planet, because like 20 years from now, 30, 40, 50 years from now, I'm pretty sure people are going to go back to these records and be like, "Wow, this was a great record."
Dude, still
Yeah,
to
I
this
feel
day.
like, yeah.
Still to this day, like, it
And
hits.
it's funny. What's funny is you could play these songs like in a club or at a concert that he's made, and a lot of these people that will say, "Oh no, I can't be a fan of Kanye." If they're in that venue and they're feeling the energy, they're gonna start dancing to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, that's so hypocritical. It's like, you have to be able to separate the art from the artist, you know. Like, there's no ways around it, you know. Like, great art is great art, you know. I mean, to be quite honest, if Adolf Hitler made a great banger, you know, and it was a banger, I would listen to him play it.
Well, Hitler was an artist.
He probably has some great. I think he had some great art. Yeah.
Yeah, he was an artist. He went to school for to be a painter, I think.
Yeah, if he made a great song and it slapped and I enjoyed it personally, even if nobody enjoyed it, but if I personally enjoyed it, I would put it on my playlist.
Okay, here's the thing where you, like, for me, and I'm sure like you can agree, is that Hitler, regardless of like all the fucking like regardless of the genocide that he did,
Yeah.
his ability to persuade people, and like, he was an amazing speaker.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he was an amazing.
I've
like,
seen the speeches of him.
Yeah.
And like, they did. Okay, go look up this right now. Okay, this is another thing to look up.
Wait. Before we do that, I need to take a piss.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a piss break.
Okay. This is important though.
But we'll come back to this.
This next part's important.
All right. Okay,
Oh.
we are back.
Okay, so I wanted you to look up Adolf Hitler's speech
Okay.
translated to English by AI.
What?
They actually did this. This is amazing.
Wow. Okay.
And see what he was actually saying. And it's gonna be a short clip, but
Okay.
it's pretty.
AI Hitler speech English. Which one was it?
I think it's let's scroll down. We could watch like a little snippet of it. Scroll up a little bit. What does it say? Adolf Hitler's speech.
There's what
In
this,
English, yeah, that one.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, just we'll
Okay.
watch maybe a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it. Original audio sample.
Where does it go to? Let's go to the part where it's in English.
Oh, whoa. Dude, this is hilarious.
So go so we can hear what he was actually saying.
This
He's
is
gonna
hilarious.
break it down to us like what he was actually saying.
All right.
German compatriots. 12 years ago, when, as the leader of the strongest party, I was entrusted by the deceased Reich President von Hindenburg with the office of Chancellor, Germany found herself faced with the same situation internally as the one that today
Oh,
externally.
I totally think I messed this up.
And annihilation of the
Hold on.
dictates led to a situation that had gradually
This is not the best version though.
Okay,
there's
hold on.
one that has the video of him in real time, like as he's giving the speech, but it's in English.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We did not mess this up. I thought I did. Okay. Okay, I thought I messed it up, but we're good. We are Gucci.
Okay. We're Gucci.
Okay, we're Gucci. I had a mini heart attack. Okay,
It's
let's go
kinda
back
scary. Yeah,
permanent one.
but we'll continue.
The existence of almost
I want to go to one part. Go to the one where maybe go to that one speech at Krupp factory in Germany.
to this one.
Yeah, try this one out.
du meine Arbeit
Wait,
für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet
no, I think that's just in German or whatever. Go down. Go down. It might be the top one.
my work
Oh yeah.
you think is right. Whether you believe that I have been diligent, that I have worked hard, that I have consistently advocated for you in these past
This is
years,
the one.
and that I have conducted myself with decency, I have devoted my time in the service of my people's welfare. Please cast your vote now. If yes, then stand up for me just as I courageously stood up for you.
Imagine being there and you're just like some random dude. You're right there in front of him.
Wow.
Du meine Arbeit für
That's
richtig
yeah.
hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet
This is crazy how he can translate
So
it.
crazy.
ich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt ein Stimme? Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
Sometimes.
So he's like, he's like advocating for the people. Like, but imagine like if that same exact speech was given like that by a president over here today, and everything that the president was doing was in the interests of the American people,
Mm.
even if what he was doing was hurting people outside. Like people would still consider him to be like I feel like for years people would look at it as, oh, we're doing what's best for America.
Yeah.
But years later, like we would look at it like, oh, well, we were kind of assholes, you know, kind of like with the Nazis and stuff. So I could see how I could see how he had supporters then. I don't blame the people that followed him because he was just that good. He was that good at giving his speeches, you know, and like sometimes
the
you're just
speeches,
blinded,
yeah.
you know, you're blinded by someone's charisma.
Yeah, the charisma.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a quote. Let me pull up this quote real quick. It's I think it was like a Nazi propagandist,
Mm-hmm.
and he was known as the father of propaganda, actually.
Ooh.
So, Edward Bernays? No, I don't think. I don't think it was Edward Bernays. Oh, Joseph. Yeah, this guy. Propaganda works best when those who are being manipulated are confident that they are acting on their own free will. And I think this was like a Nazi like soldier, like one of the guys from the SS, I believe. But I think there's another quote. Let me but it's from the same guy.
Interesting.
Joseph. Whoops. Oh yeah, here this is the quote I'm talking about. If you repeat a lie often enough, people will believe it, and you will even come to believe it yourself.
Interesting.
So like yeah, like this makes sense that the father of propaganda came up with these quotes because it rings true to today.
Yeah.
And I think like lies are often told as the truth. And then it goes full circle, like what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You know, beautiful lies rather than ugly truth.
Yeah. No. Totally. The problem is,
Like, see, like there he is with Hitler.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is this on? Whoops. There you go.
Yeah, it's always hard.
There he is with Hitler.
Yeah. It's always difficult to discern what's truth and what's a lie. It just takes a lot of digging and effort, for sure.
You tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. The lie can be maintained only for such time as the state can shield the people from the political, economic, and or military consequences of the lie. It thus becomes vitally important for the state to use all of its powers to repress dissent, for the truth is the mortal enemy of the lie, and thus, by extension, the truth is the greatest enemy of the state.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Like, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. No. That makes the truth is the enemy of the state. Yeah, that's a really good phrase right there. I'm thinking like my thinking is personally that the truth never changes and lies never change either. Like fundamental truths, you know?
Yeah.
Like there are certain things that are if it's biological or if it's just general natural laws that never change.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that whatever the majority of people believe in any time or era, that's where people will fluctuate their opinion on what is truth or not. Like, so if like the majority of people today believe one certain thing, that's accepted as truth because the majority of people believe that. That doesn't mean it's the truth. It just means that. It just means that's
what was accepted at that time.
Yeah.
Like slavery.
Yeah, slavery was truth back then.
Yeah, it was true.
Yeah, it was what people, nobody blinked an eye at it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Whereas today, now it's a lot of equality and equal opportunity type ideas. Stuff like that.
In my opinion, I think that's racist. Like like when it comes to what's the term where people use
diversity?
to get diversity, but also inclusion.
Inclusion, yeah, it definitely is.
But it's also racist because people are choosing based off of the color of their skin or their race rather than their abilities or their talents.
Yeah,
and that is like.
Definitely.
100% racist.
Yeah, it's like the best person should always deserve the job.
Yeah, regardless of their color.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And the truth of the matter is some people are better designed for certain jobs than others.
Yeah.
And that's 100% the truth. Like, let's say like you're doing like You're doing like a construction job. Most men are better suited for that job than most women.
Yeah.
Not to say that there are outliers, but I would say like majority wise, and you would choose whoever is the most physically capable for that job.
Yeah. I was actually
Yeah.
watching a clip. This guy, Sean Ryan, he has a podcast, Sean Ryan Show, and they were talking about people that are in special operations, like in the military and stuff. And they were saying that a lot of the times, like when women are involved in these groups, like the whole dynamic gets thrown off because of like, you know, there's different like sexual dynamics, like, so it's better to have just all men in a certain group because, you know, like jealousy gets involved and like sexual dynamics get involved. So I think there is a certain place where there should only be a certain gender in a certain like field, you know? So like for example, special operations, everybody needs to be on the same page, but when there's like a girl involved, then like it's gonna be thrown off because everyone wants to try and like fuck her, you know?
Yeah. No,
And-
yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was reading the comments and like there were women that agree like with that statement.
Yeah.
Like
there's a lot
everyone
of-
needs to stay at the task in hand.
Well, there's a lot of there definitely are a lot of factors within that. Now, are we talking about all the men are straight men?
Yeah.
Or are we okay.
Yeah. I mean,
So if they're
most
all
of the
straight
time,
men-
they're all straight men.
But if now in the rare like strange case that they're all gay men,
Well, sorry to cut you off,
yeah.
but in the example of I've heard this as well, like with the UFC and MMA,
Yeah.
a lot of the times like women fighters, their coaches and stuff like try and fuck them as well. So like there's like a
okay,
whole
okay.
sexual dynamic with that as well.
Yeah, no. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's always like there's always like it's like why can't we just do what's most functional for society? You know, why can't we just do that? You know, like, and then keep all the things that you like doing to your, you know, on your own time in your own time. And then whatever you can bring to society to make society better, do that for society.
Yeah.
Like, why can't that just be a thing, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like nobody wants to do
Thinking with the wrong head.
Yeah, nobody wants to do what's best for society. They want to do what's best for their own personal interest and their own ego, you know?
Yeah. For their own
Yeah.
other head.
Yeah. Me and my cousin have a term for like extra head that lies between your legs. And it's not even a real term, but we call it Oofenschnaffel.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just like the word. It sounds German, but it's not even a German word.
Right.
But you're Oofenschnaffel. It sounds like provocative.
Yeah, it does.
I see you have a big Oofenschnaffel.
Interesting.
But no. Okay, so getting sidetracked off of this. You ever watched Spaceballs?
I've not watched Spaceballs, but I do in the future. I would watch it.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
They use a term for cock or penis that is it's titled what is it? Okay. Look up look this up again real quick. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're going to be like my Google search today.
Pull that up, Jamie.
Yeah. Look up Spaceballs. I see your Schwartz. Schwartz.
Schwartz.
Yeah, that's the term they use for it. Yeah, look up that. Yeah, look up this one. That one little clip. So they hold their lightsabers. So they have lightsabers, but they hold it right at where their wieners are at. So it's amazing. 10 out of 10. But I this is like my favorite scene. We'll only catch like a little bit of it where he says it.
Helm. So, at last we meet for
This
the
is
first
great.
time for the last time.
Before you die, there is something you should know about us, Lone Star.
Your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Father's, brothers, nephews, cousins, former roommate.
This is so stupid.
1987.
Absolutely nothing. You are about to become. Prepare to die.
Legendary.
You have the ring, and I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
That's all I wanted you to see. He like unzippers his pants, and then like that's when he lets his lightsaber out. I don't know. I find that's amazing. That to me is art. See, like that. Now we're touching into the actual realm of art.
Dude, you know what blows my mind as well is like the amount of time, like that was made in 1987.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm watching the original Dragon Ball series
Yeah.
and it was made in 1986. And I'm like, dude, this is so good for that time and how it like withstood that time.
Mm-hmm.
It's mind blowing.
I think what really stands out about that is the animation.
Well, yeah, the animation and also the storytelling.
Yeah.
It's like the storytelling. I wonder what else was out around that time that was doing the same thing that they were. I'm pretty sure that like there wasn't anything like that. Because
Oh, what year?
86.
86. Maybe just Transformers.
Yeah.
Because Transformers was an 80s thing too. Maybe.
I wonder, was that like American or was that Japanese as well? It was Transformers.
I think that's American.
That's American, right?
Yeah.
What was the people that made that?
I think it's Hasbro.
Hasbro. Yeah. I think it was Hasbro.
I think it's Hasbro, but
yeah.
I've never followed all of Dragon Ball, but
Yeah.
I know that Dragon Ball like the characters are the characters. There's a lot of characters for sure,
Yeah.
and the more I learned about it, like I've actually done a little bit of research into it. There's a lot, like everybody obviously knows main characters, Goku,
Yeah.
like Gohan, like Piccolo,
Right.
like those type of characters. But then like there's like characters that are more underground that people like revere somewhat more than even the main characters. Like for example, Broly. You know, people
Yeah, Broly for sure.
people like go crazy over that character. Like
Yeah.
and there's a whole lore and whole backstory about like his basically him being a Saiyan too. You know, like
Exactly.
and I mean I don't know a lot about it, but I know enough to understand that like there's definitely layers.
There's
There's
so
layers
many
to
layers.
Dragon Ball.
And what I mean
Yeah.
for me, because I remember watching Dragon Ball when I was like in second grade, just coming home from school and watching, like couldn't wait to get home to watch Dragon Ball, and like that's the original like series where everything stemmed from. So
Yeah.
like to understand like the original series and get a perspective from an like 27-year-old person is way different. Like there's so many like stories that you can learn from just from watching Dragon Ball. Like and how like how innocent Goku was and how his ultimate goal is to like just defeat evil.
Yeah.
And like that's what he was doing on his whole quest was to like just fight evil.
I feel like I feel like another one of his goals was to be the most powerful.
Yeah.
Not just for like a power quest, but like almost like a challenge to himself to be like the best version of himself.
Yeah.
And to always reach new goals and to kind of like exceed where he's at the moment.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think that's always like I think that's like kind of like
it's a life lesson.
Yeah, it's a life lesson. It's almost a staple of the series is like you can always exceed your potential, or you can always exceed where you're at because your potential is limitless.
Well, that and also like every obstacle that he faced, he found a way through it.
Yeah.
And like I think we were talking about this earlier in the conversation, where it's facing adversity, and it's coming up with solutions to your problems. And like
Yeah.
that's another takeaway from that, is like always finding a way.
Yeah. Okay, this is the age-old question. I'm curious. Who do you think will win between Goku and Superman?
Goku and Superman?
Yeah,
I would have to say Goku.
you say Goku. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious why you would say Goku.
Um,
Because I have.
I'm not really much
Yeah.
of a Superman fan,
Oh, okay,
but I would just say, anytime that I watch Goku fight a person or like a villain, he always found a way to even if he wasn't as strong as the person, he always found a way to just outsmart the person, or always found a way to defeat him. Whether it's not
okay.
like through strength,
Yeah.
like through his wits.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I just wanted to ask that question. That
Yeah.
was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea, but I'm not a huge Superman fan, so I wouldn't know. But I mean, for you've probably watched more Superman than I have.
Yeah.
So like, what's your opinion?
I I really don't know. Like, I hold them at the exact same power tier level. I don't know all of Goku's feats, so like for me to put an opinion, I can't give a good opinion. I can give a biased opinion off of my biased opinion.
Yeah.
I think Superman would probably win. I think he has more feats in terms of just overall battles. Like, I feel like he's fought more like threats that are out of his own world. And I think that's kind of hard to challenge someone who has fought people that are not only on his planet or in the same universe, you know?
Yeah.
I also feel like he's one of the most durable characters that unless Goku had kryptonite, there's really no way to defeat Superman. So my whole thing comes with like caveat. If Goku has kryptonite, he kills Superman. If Goku does not have kryptonite, it's really, really hard to kill the modern version of Superman.
So my thing is, it's like, how do you? I'm not a Superman fan. How do you find kryptonite? Like, how do you get kryptonite?
It's
Like how?
it's basically a product of his homeworld, which was destroyed. So I think in the comic book version, his main protagonist is a human by the name of Lex Luthor, who sees Superman as a threat to humanity because he's an alien. Superman's an alien. And so he finds a way to synthesize kryptonite, which is really interesting because Superman on his homeworld is just like us, but when he basically comes to Earth because of just the his physiology being on Earth, and also the sun being close to our home planet, it increases his density and strength, and he's soaked in the sun for so long that his body essentially, that's what happens to Kryptonians. They get that strength when coming to Earth's atmosphere. Which is really interesting. But yeah, krypton, like, there's the whole logic fallacy. The whole logical idea of it is kind of funny to me. It's like you would think that his energy would wear out eventually.
Yeah.
But I guess because he soaked up so much solar radiation, like, he's essentially that way he doesn't age, he doesn't die or whatever. Like
Mm.
I think he does age, but it's really really slow. Like there's a comic book where it's like a million years in the future, and he's soaked up so much solar radiation that he's surpassed like his physical body, and he's just pure energy at that point.
See, I don't think
Yeah, it's
I don't
really
think
interesting.
I don't think the two worlds would be like collide as far as like Dragon Ball and Superman, because I feel like Goku can. I mean, if we're talking about like the modern Goku,
Yeah.
he would be able to just instant teleport to get the kryptonite.
Well, that's if he knows what kryptonite is, you know.
Yeah.
That's
well,
always
then
assuming,
again,
yeah.
Then again, you would probably have to find out what kryptonite is, and
Yeah.
then get the kryptonite.
Yeah. No. I agree. Like.
Yeah.
I agree. He could kill Superman if he gets kryptonite.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then I think like I'm pretty sure like he would have the ability because he can like instant transport anywhere.
Yeah. I agree. But at the same time, he needs to do that before he gets hit by Superman, you know, because I mean, that's a lot of power to get hit by, man. That's a lot of power. Because another thing too is Superman doesn't have the same. His vital organs are not easily injured, you know. So it's like
That would be an interesting.
yeah,
crossover.
nobody could really know. Like
Yeah.
it's
Who did
it's all
Superman
just
fight?
opinions.
Was it Superman versus what? Like the most recent movie that came out?
Oh, which one?
Wasn't there a movie like Superman versus another person that came
Oh,
out?
Batman.
that-
Superman.
Was it? Did that come out recently?
Yeah, that's where Batman had kryptonite. Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
and then Batman like killed Superman, and then Superman came back somehow, because he's Superman, you know.
Interesting.
And then Batman beat up all the Superman beat up all the Justice League.
Is Superman OP?
Yeah, he's broken.
He's broken.
Yeah, that guy's broken. Because even when you kill him, somehow he comes back. You know, it's like, and then he's just like he was an asshole in what's it called, the last movie that they made. That guy was an asshole. Superman. He was They were all trying to fight him, and you know how the Flash could move faster than the speed of light or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the Flash was trying to basically land some punches on Superman.
Couldn't?
Well, Superman could see exactly what he's doing. He reacted exactly as fast as the Flash, who can manipulate time, you know? And that's like...
So Superman is more powerful than the Flash.
I would say, yeah, he's probably a lot more powerful, yeah.
He's faster than the Flash.
He's faster than the Flash.
Wow.
He's stronger than the strongest person on the Justice League. I mean, he's broken, man. He's broken. That's why I think a lot of people hate him. Which is understandable. I like him because I don't mind broken characters. Like I find it pretty entertaining, you know. But
well, something that I was like thinking about also. Like you mentioned, what was that? Was it the Hulk? Like She-Hulk?
Oh yeah.
It was like one of those, or it was like the new Star Wars or something like that, where there wasn't that much adversity. Like she had already had the power to defeat everyone, right?
Yeah.
So what I found enjoyable watching the original Dragon Ball series is that there's so much adversity that Goku went through to get to where to gain his strength and to gain his power.
Yeah.
And I really like that. Like they like it shows the adversity.
That is a good story. That definitely is cool. I'm not saying that there's no adversity in Superman's story. I'm just saying that once he finally gets to like his like at least his base Superman level, like he's already broken. Yeah, but it's not to say like obviously the write to write a good character you have to put him through tragic situations.
Yeah.
You have to break them down before you can build them up.
How about one of the actors that got paralyzed? Who was that?
Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. There's no real Superman in real life.
Yeah.
He's just a comic book character. You know, it's just a figment of our imagination. You know, but we build tall tales around them. Yeah.
I think. Well, yeah, there are tall tales, but also some. Like we were saying earlier, life lessons that can be learned from that, which like I love taking out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the great, and I think it's for Goku too. But I think for like as far as like Goku and Superman, their backstory is very similar.
Yeah.
Where like their home world was destroyed, you know.
That's true. Yep.
And they're one of the few of their kind that is now in another world. And I think there's a lot of similarities. They're essentially aliens, you know. So I think like that's why both of them are very entertaining stories for a lot of people, because they have that tragic backstory. Yeah.
Yeah, the backstory.
Yeah.
And it makes for a good comeback story, or it just makes for a good story because like you had to earn it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of beauty in tragedy.
Yeah.
In general, you know, I think tragedy is a great backdrop for good storytelling.
When you think about people that have already, like, say, I mean, this is just from the conversation sake. People that are already like that have rich parents that are successful.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them have been just fed with silver spoons in their mouth, so it's like they already expect certain things. But people that like sort of have to earn and like go through the fire and build this character, because that's really what it is. It's building character this whole time, like of going through the flames and like trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is at the end of the day. It just builds character.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's good, like you said, to build that character, and it's I would think like anytime you give somebody a silver spoon and you present too many opportunities for them, you're taking away from their ability to build that character and build something, you know, at least build something lasting. You're taking away some of that ability.
Yeah, when also, like again, I think we talked about this, but it's good for the podcast sake. If you were to win the lottery right now, or if most people would become broke because they were just given that money and they weren't learned how to invest it. They weren't learned how to like spend their money like wisely. But people that have like built, you know, their finances through time already went through the steps in the process in order for them to make that money. So that they already know how to like wisely like keep that money and hold on to it. Because like
I always get amazed when people go broke after winning a lottery. Like it's baffling, you know, like.
Because then, like, say if you were to win like a $500 million lottery, and you buy like a $20 million house, like you're not thinking about all of the expenses that come with that. You have to like, well, there's property taxes. Then you have to pay for like for maids and like upkeep on the house and like what is it like front yard, what is it called, like
Like a gardener?
upkeep, gardening and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have to, there's so much upkeep to that.
Yeah.
And then like say like you buy a Lambo, like a Lambo's oil change is like $5,000.
Yeah.
Like there's so much that goes into it, and like tires and like taxes and yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, I feel like that's personally, if I won that much money, I probably would not buy a house and I would not buy a Lambo. I would buy a really cheap place, but then I would have to put my money into a bank, and then you always have to worry about it getting taken from a bank. You know, something happening to that. There's always ways to lose money, and it's very hard to gain the money. But I personally would not spend it on an expensive car or an expensive home, and that's just me. What I might spend it on is gear that I'm passionate about, and a small place to store it, and somewhere that's private. Yeah, I think like I think I could probably maybe use 50,000 to 80,000 of that money and be able to pocket the rest of it. Yeah.
Financial freedom. That's the
Yeah.
thing where
Yeah.
like that would be an awesome place to be, is where you don't have to worry about your finances and you can just make art and you can like do the things that you want to do without having that pressure of having to pay a bill on a certain time.
Yeah.
Like that
yeah,
takes
for
off
sure.
so much weight on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And like that's where we're all striving towards, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's like they just want to keep people, or the goal is to keep people so busy with other things they can't work on the things that they're interested in, whether it's mentally or physically.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I feel like that's the goal of
The Illuminati.
whoever is in control is
The
to,
Illuminati.
yeah. They want to control your mental train of thought and they want to control your physical energy. It's like your passion is making art or like doing some type of creative thing. Well, now they got this thing in the media that is taking your mind off of what you are passionate about, and you're thinking more about whatever's going on in the media and not about creating something for people. And you're now whatever is in the media is influencing your art and is now turning it from something that was once a personal passion project to a piece of propaganda that they manipulated.
Yeah.
And now you not only that, you go to work for 8 hours or 9 hours.
8 hours your day.
Yeah, and you come back and you're so tired that you make an excuse to not do what you had intended to do.
Right.
You could probably still physically do it, but now if you do it, you get so wrapped up in it that you stay up into the wee hours of the night and you don't get enough rest. So the next day you feel like crap when you go into work. And let's say you go into work a little bit late. Like, everything is designed to slow down your progress to get things done in the way that is most feasible and most healthy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the beautiful thing about building, like we were talking about building character,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
is that throughout all that struggle, if you persevere and if you keep attacking your goals, if you keep striving towards where you want to be, then you slowly but surely you're chipping away at where you want to be. Like slowly but surely.
Oh yeah. It's always a slow, sure chip away.
Yeah, it's not like
It's not like you come
It's-
to some
yeah.
grand eureka moment.
yeah,
It's a lifetime of dedication and stuff. And
that's where all the character is built and all of
oh yeah.
I know you know this, but for
Yeah.
the sake of just the conversation, it's ultimately like we always say, it's the process. It's the whole process of it's not the destination, it's the process.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
It's your will versus the will of the big hand that tries to mold.
Yeah,
And
because
it's trying to grip you and put you in this mold, and your objective is to break its fingers open and do what you want, you know?
yeah, because the quote is
Yeah.
if you're not working towards your dreams, you're building somebody else's.
Yeah. Most people are content with working a 9 to 5 and repeating the process, and then they die, and then that's that. But for a lot of people, they have the idea that they want to do something more. But a lot of times it just boils down to they don't have the will to do it, you know?
It again, it's like it is hard. It's really hard actually.
yeah,
But that's
yeah.
the thing where it's that's the most rewarding part
Yeah.
is that it's hard.
Yeah, I think my whole philosophy is do what you enjoy doing. Repeat the process. Always be taking in more knowledge. And nothing is guaranteed for sure,
Yeah.
but you are bettering your chances of it. And it's better to better your chances than to be like, oh, I didn't do anything, you know, when I had the opportunity to do it. You know, it's like you might as well at least better your chances while you have the chance.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, it's you're never going to be mad of the fact that you were doing what you wanted to do, and you tried to get the best results out of what you were trying to do and be the best at it, you know? Like, you're never going to be mad about that versus being like, I never even pursued what I wanted to do. Like, that's a really horrible, like, thing to think about.
Yeah, there's two quotes that come to mind.
Yeah.
It's I rather tried and failed than rather not tried at all.
Yeah. That okay. Okay, so now this is another really interesting topic. Because I've never really understood the fear. I mean, I understand it to a degree,
Yeah.
but I can't understand why failure would stifle someone into not wanting to do something. The
Right.
fear of failure. Like, why would stifle it, especially in creative stuff? Because here's the difference with like something physical. Like something physical, you could die.
Yeah.
You could die from trying to do it, and still some people would be willing to physically try to do something if they're
Well, yeah.
motivated enough,
Right.
even though it could cost them their life.
Yeah.
A creative pursuit, there almost is no risk physically
Exactly.
when you're doing it.
It's mentally.
Yeah, it's all mental.
It's a mental failure.
Yeah, and so when people are like, people give up at a passion that is creative, it's like they are mentally defeating themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like I've never it's like so beyond my thinking.
And well, again, it's
And
like
it's like
it's not
yeah.
for all people.
Yeah, it isn't.
It's not for all people.
Yeah.
And for I forgot what quote or who said this. I think it was Fat Joe. Shout out to Fat Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But he was saying it's not for all people. And no, it wasn't Fat Joe. It was a producer that, shout out to Eddie. He sent me this video.
Mm-hmm.
For people that are willing to persist, for people that are willing to jump through the obstacles, it's for those people. People that are problem solvers, people that are willing to go like solve their problems rather than give up.
Yeah.
For people that just forgive up, for people that give up, it's already a failure. They're not going to succeed.
Yeah. I feel like you have to go into it with the right motive too. And this is just my perspective on it. Like, if you go into it expecting to, if you go into a passion expecting to turn it solely into a business, I almost feel like that can hurt you in the long run. Because people that try to turn something solely into a business, and this is just saying solely into a business, but they tend to want to see results immediately, you know? And it's like, if you're trying to see results on it, are you really enjoying what you're doing? Are you really finding some type of internal satisfaction from like what you're doing, you know? Are you finding that in that thing that ignites you or like lights up your soul or makes you who you are, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like,
is
it's
not
every time
expecting,
you go, yeah,
it's not expecting results.
Yeah, every time you go into something creatively, like it's like, I feel like it's almost akin to like physical exercise.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, because you're always trying to test your limits.
Yeah.
It's like that's always interesting, is like not comparing yourself, but more so just trying to expand and augment upon yourself in that field. It's a really strange topic, yeah.
Well, also, I'm just gonna keep saying quotes. There's another quote. It's expectations are the road lead to the road of disappointment. So anytime you expect something, then you're gonna be disappointed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like adding on to what you were saying is that
Yeah,
doing something out of the love for it, doing something that you're passionate about, I don't think you can go wrong with it, because ultimately you're doing what you want to do.
yeah, you're doing it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, you're doing what you want to do, especially when you're so locked into something that you're doing. If you're already finding immense enjoyment out of it, and you're finding and even more so if you're finding a lot of enjoyment out of the result of it, regardless of if other people get that same enjoyment, you've already won, because you've already enjoyed the result of it. Like, you've already found the satisfaction out of it.
Because it's not the result.
Yeah.
It's the process.
It's the process. Yeah. It's the process. Yeah.
And then
it's it's like building something, right? Some people like doing like DIY projects, and that's it.
I'll just say that's random.
Yeah, it is random. Okay, no, this is super random, but you're gonna see like my kind of like my angle to this. But like, some people like doing DIY projects, like they like fixing stuff, right?
Yeah.
They get something that's broken and they fix it. And let's say they don't intend to show it to anybody, but they want to fix it themselves and they want to just have it. Well, regardless of anybody, if anybody actually sees what they fixed, they don't have to tell anybody that they fixed it.
Yeah.
They get the internal satisfaction of doing that.
Mm.
And that's really strange to a degree to me, but I can understand the logic of doing something that you enjoy for your own pleasure, you know?
Yeah.
And
And
it's not like they're putting it on display. Some people do, but it's not like
Yeah.
all the time they're showing it off to everyone.
right.
But it's almost just doing something for your own pleasure that you're not going to display to other people.
Yeah, no, that's for me. For me, I love, like you were talking about, physical exercise and stuff like that. I love pushing myself past my limits of what I perceive I can do, because I get enjoyment out of that. I just love pushing past my limits as far as like lifting a certain amount of weight, or like running 3 miles for a certain amount of time. Like I love that. It's physical and mental, as far as like pushing past your physical limits, but also your mental limits. And it's always, for me, I always come in with the mindset of like just trying to be better. And I'm not worried about the physical results of whatever comes out of it. I'm just worried about like the mental aspect of it,
Yeah.
of like trying to be the best person I can be.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like I know I think we've talked about this topic before, but I don't think you as far as I know, you don't believe in an actual single God entity.
Honestly, dude, like the more time goes on, I like revert back to God. Like that's where
Yeah.
like I'm reverting back to, because I mean, at least I see now in this time that we're at,
Yeah.
a lot of the times I see stuff that's evil,
Uh-huh.
and I think that it's for a certain purpose. I think this evil is being pushed, and I mean, what's the opposite of evil? It's good. So for me, it's more of like I wouldn't say an analogy, but like good is, for me, is God, right? There's
Okay,
God and
okay.
there's Satan. So I revert more towards the good and what God represents.
But do you think like good or God is anything with its own like it's an actual entity like you or me?
No.
Like
no,
it
no.
actually has opinions
No.
and it has ideas.
I think it depends on whoever the person is. It depends on the person and what their beliefs are. Are you leaning more towards the good, or are you leaning more towards the evil? And I think it depends on who the person is. But then again, I think there's stuff outside of our control that we can't control that God has dominion over.
Yeah. Well, so I think we talked about this a while back too, probably in many podcasts, but like
Yeah.
But it's always fun to come back to it because like
Yeah.
it's always a good question. Do you think
It
that
is.
everything started or everything always was?
That's a good question. That's the age-old question.
Yeah. Cuz like that's that in itself is intriguing, because if you had the answer to that one question, you would have the answer to a million questions.
Yeah.
And you would have a
Really.
definitive like roadmap onto like, okay, now that I know for example, if everything started, now that tells you that someone started it. If everything always was, that tells you that no one started it. because
Yeah.
everything always was, you know.
Well,
That's everything.
here's a good question.
Yeah.
Are you will you be dead longer than you will be alive?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe I will be dead longer than I'm alive. I don't know if this is a trick question, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's just a question.
Yeah.
It's not a trick question.
Yeah, because yeah, if you're dead, time will continue without you, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think when we die, like, everything around us stops. I'm pretty sure, unless secretly, unbeknownst to us, that we're the main character, and when we die, like, that's like we're the main character and we die. Everything around us was just like a simulation. Then that would mean that the simulation's ended, and
Well, isn't there something I don't think it talks about reincarnation, but there's purgatory. What is purgatory? Purgatory is a state of being judged.
Yeah, it's like a
Until
term
you
for hell or whatever.
Until you enter like the next phase of life, or is it like
purgatory? I mean, I'm not too familiar with purgatory. Every time I think of purgatory, I just think of hell. But as far as like the actual definition of purgatory, like I'm really not too sure. I'm not too sure about that, Anna. Yeah. Why do you believe in purgatory, or?
No, well, I was just thinking about the idea of reincarnation. Like,
okay.
After purgatory, like, because from my very limited basic knowledge and understanding, is that purgatory is just a place where you get judged, where you get sent to heaven or hell.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well,
I have no idea.
Yeah, no. I mean that seems pretty accurate. Now, because purgatory can't be hell. If purgatory is a place where you get judged, yeah, it would make sense that you could only be sent to one of two places, you know.
Yeah. But then again, I feel like right now, like they always talk about Judgment Day, right? It's like, again, I'm not a biblical philosopher or anything like that, but I think Judgment Day is happening right now. Like, we're being judged right now. Like, are we doing things for the good, or are we doing things for evil? Mm-hmm. And every day we have that choice.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, it's all like it's all like.
Then
yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but then it goes back to like, Satan or God, which idea are you serving at the end of the day?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like, that's why I always revert back to God, because God is considered good.
Yeah, no. I mean, people's intentions can always be good, but I mean, there's a lot of different philosophies as to what God is, like I can't really say, because like, I mean, I don't know, but there's a lot of different ideas as to who God is, if he's actual entity, or if he's like as you mentioned, a manifestation of that quality of good. I'm assuming.
Yeah, to sort of
like
tie the knot on that question that you asked earlier.
Yeah.
Which was, if you believe God is an entity or like an idea.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Or is that what you're
or
asking?
just to tie the knot on that question that you asked. That was the question that you asked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you?
I flip back on it, back and forth. Like I have times where I think like, oh, somebody created everything, and then other times I just think to myself, it makes more sense to me that he's an entity.
Yeah.
It makes more sense because like there's no other answer to how everything is. You know, like how else is everything the way it is, you know? Like if you I don't know, if you go out and like walk on a beach and you see a sandcastle, you're going to assume that somebody made the sandcastle.
Mm.
And I don't know, like I feel like the earth is a lot more complex than the sandcastle. So I don't know, from a logical standpoint, I almost feel like there had to be some design behind it.
Okay, so with that in mind,
Yeah.
and I think you mentioned this earlier, there are 100%, and I think this is fact.
Mm.
There are universal laws that govern this third dimension, this physical reality, that are like undeniable truths.
Yeah.
Right? So here, I want to pull this up because I think this is very important. And this is proven to be true.
Yeah.
This is the 7 Hermetic principles, and this is like some esoteric knowledge that the ancient civilizations have passed down through time.
Oh, okay.
Damn. And here we go. Damn, how can we Okay, so 1, mentalism. The universe is mental. Like
So
everything.
it's not physical.
Well, it is. I mean,
The all is mind. The universe.
let me
is
just say
mental.
this. So everything that is created besides nature was created by man. And I think everything that was created came through the mind. Besides nature.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Oh, okay. No, I see what you're saying. I like in order for this to be made, it first had to be thought of.
Yes. And it
Yeah.
comes through the mind.
Yeah.
So like
yeah, it comes through the mind. Yeah. Okay.
So-
okay, I'm following.
in my opinion, and I think this is again true, is that again one of the universal laws is that the universe is mental. Correspondence, as above so below, as below so above. Again, this is like through ancient civilizations. I don't know too much about it, but what I can say is that the pyramids and how the pyramids are aligned to certain structures in the sky. This is true. Let me just pull this up. We're gonna go a little bit deep.
Okay.
So the Giza pyramids are aligned and built to the stars above.
Okay.
So if you see here, where can I find a good photo? Okay, this is like very so apparently if you map the stars of Orion's belt, it matches with the pyramids of Giza in Egypt. So it lines up with that. So that's the whole theory of number 2 is that as above so below. Again, it goes deeper, but I'm not like a professional at explaining all this stuff. vibration, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. So that's the theory of, I forgot who made that theory, but if you zoom in to like atoms and stuff like that, everything's like not still, everything's moving.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And the law of polarity, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Unlike are the same, opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. Okay, so this is like the idea of hot and cold, like black, white, all that stuff. So there's an opposite for every thing like that that's in this physical dimension. Rhythm, everything flows out and in, everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. Pendulum swings to the right and the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. So, I mean, how would you explain that? Like rhythm.
I mean, yeah, it's.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, rhythm is like, like we all have like internal rhythm. You know, like if you listen to music, like you have a sense of rhythm.
Yeah.
It's not. You can't really explain it to someone.
Right.
But even if you look at, I mean, everything has rhythm. Even if you look at, it's gonna sound funny, but even if you look at like animals, like they'll do certain things in certain rhythms, you know. Birds, like they make music. It has a rhythm to it. I don't know. I even feel like, I mean, it says right there, everything has its tides. You look at water, that has rhythm to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly the most normal sense of rhythm, but like, yeah, left, right, yeah, if you get a little piece of metal, you swing it,
or
and
like
it's
the
gonna
pendulum,
go back and forth. Yeah,
like a physical manifestation
Like a
of that is
pendulum,
the
yeah.
pendulum.
yeah, for sure.
So cause and effect, everything has its effect. Every effect has its cause. So like, say if you were to do something were to happen, and like that's a universal law, like that's undeniable.
Yeah, for sure.
Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine. Manifests on all planes. So with that being said, I think that's like an undeniable truth to this fabric of reality, and this like sort of say if you were to think of it as a video game, there are sort of rules that govern that video game.
Yeah. Okay.
And in this reality, this third dimension, there are certain rules that govern this reality, and I think these are some of the rules that govern that.
Yeah. No, I would agree with these. These are pretty. I mean, I can't really. I'm not gonna. Out of all of them, mentalism, the all is mind. The universe is mental. I don't know. Out of all of them, the only one I would have some contradiction on is maybe the mentalism part, and maybe correspondence.
Yeah.
But as for everything else, I feel like it's, I don't know. It makes sense to me.
Right.
Yeah, but again, you know, I also am not. There are many things I don't know about the universe, so yeah.
This is just another rabbit hole.
Yeah, there are many rabbit holes, man.
Yeah.
The rabbit holes are many.
It goes deep.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so this month I'm actually going to be moving out. I'm moving out of the studio.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so this is going to be the last podcast.
Oh man, it's wild.
So I wanted to, it would only make sense that the first and the last would be doing it with you.
Hey man, it was an honor. It was an honor.
Well, this is also like sort of clickbait because we're starting something new, but this will be like the last podcast in the studio.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Good miss you, man.
Yeah, no, well, I think this will also bring more opportunity because I'm going to need somewhere to record.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm probably going to have to come through to you.
Yeah, hit me up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up. It'll be I mean, change is always good,
Yeah.
and you know, I always have this spot over here, so yeah, hit me up, let me know, text me. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely it's a new thought, man, but yeah, it's
Yeah, it is.
the best of wishes, best of luck, you know.
For sure.
Like however, you know, you want to continue in your goals and stuff, man. It's gonna be it's all up on you and interesting, man.
Yeah.
So there's always like there's no limit to obviously how things can turn out. So
For sure.
yeah,
But again, this is just the beginning. This is not the end of what, like, the podcast is not the end of, this is just the start of something new.
yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I know, I definitely get that. Yeah, but it's I mean, it's gonna feel empty now, you know. Honestly, like this spot will be like empty, but yeah, I'll be there.
For sure.
That studio spot. Well, we've journeyed far and wide through time in this
Yeah.
spot, but I mean, the way I see it, I just see it as another chapter, you know.
It is another chapter. Another
Yeah.
what's that word that we used before? It's not, I wouldn't say journey. It's I think it starts with an S.
Saga.
Saga.
It's another.
It's
saga,
another
man.
saga.
Yeah. Hey, you know the spot's always open too, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be here just in case. But
Listen, I would advise everyone to listen to the first podcast that we did. I actually wanted to bring camping chairs and everything just to like get the vibe.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Because then again, it was like very bare bones. It was very like, it was very raw.
Yeah, it was, man. It was crazy. It was crazy, but it's all like it's all been an adventure.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's just another chapter of the saga. You know, like it's just it shall continue.
Yeah, it's
and
always
you said
gonna
you're
continue.
continue. You're continuing the podcast, but I mean, just let me know if you ever wanted to have the podcast over there, and I'll run through. You know.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be. Well, here's why I'm moving, actually, because at my house we built an addition to the house,
Yeah.
so everything is going to just be moving over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here's what I would say. I don't want to give away the idea yet,
Yeah.
but for the podcast, I want it to be outside and I want it to be different. And I already have the idea, but people will see. Because I feel like a lot of people right now are just doing like the sit down stuff, but right now I want it to be outside and I want it to be different. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
It seems like almost like a theme change.
Yeah.
Like a thematic like scenery type of kind of like context of it, like where it could be more like nature-esque.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it could be interesting.
For sure.
There could be like some cool untapped area with it, you know.
I think there is definitely an untapped area.
Yeah, it's like I mean, obviously I'm not happy you're moving. We have been here, what, 4 years or 3 years?
5 years, I think. 2019.
Yeah, fuck, we've been here for a long ass time.
It's a long time.
Yeah, and now it's just gonna be like, now I'm gonna be like, oh shit, now this whole room's empty, and but at the same time, the way I look at it is you will continue to grow, man.
Yeah.
And you will continue to like reach new horizons, and me as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We're going to continue to be doing our own thing, and obviously I'm always open to work together with you, and
Yeah, same.
and the relationship is still
Yeah, still solid.
yeah, still solid, man. And I mean, it's bittersweet. It's cool, but it's a little sad.
Yeah.
It's a sad day, but it's also, I mean, you know, it's also I'm happy. I'm always happy for people that are doing what they want, and I think that's like a great theme of everything. Is like do what you want.
Yeah.
Don't make your decisions off of other people's opinions. Completely pursue what you want. See it all the way through, and I think you'll get good results from it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I would have to say I'm actually held at gunpoint right now, and somebody's making me make this decision.
Oh yeah. I doubt it.
I'm just kidding.
That scared me.
I'm totally joking.
That was pretty scary. That's good acting. I feel like you should. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like there's like somebody watching me right now, and somebody's actually.
And there's like another camera.
Yeah.
There's another camera on this camera. There's dual cameras. It's like. No, that's crazy, man.
Like the Illuminati has forced me to make this decision, and I'm not acting on my own free will. I'm gonna have to follow the script now.
Follow the script. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to follow the script, that's cool. I don't know. Like, I have nothing against it, but no, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I think it's cool that, like, it really feels like something that I need to do.
Yeah. If you feel it,
and
like,
I feel it. I really feel it.
If you feel it, then yeah. I mean, that's you should do it. Like, I don't know. I feel like yeah, like you sometimes you just can't explain it. You just feel it, you know.
But then there's also, like, again, I would love the next chapter, whenever that may be, is to get another spot. But also, like, to get our own spot that we own, instead of like having like a soccer studio. Like, this is still 100%. I see it and I feel it, is to get our own spot.
Yeah.
And to have a spot where we don't have to like to be under someone, you know.
Yeah.
And like
share it.
Share it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
that's the next like saga. I 100% feel.
I almost feel like this can also help to build up our individual momentum even more.
Yeah.
And maybe get to a point where we can have enough funds eventually to even invest harder
stronger
into it, you know?
Just come back stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. I was going to bring up a side topic. I don't mean to like take it off track.
Oh yeah, whatever is clever.
Yeah, I was actually going to be out of town in a week, which is interesting.
Interesting. Where
Yeah,
are you
I'm
going?
going to Idaho.
Oh, you're going. You're taking a road trip. Are you driving out there?
I'm driving out there. I'm gonna be
Nice.
taking a road trip.
Nice.
But no, it's like, oh man, it's like, yeah. I mean, I feel your vision. I mean, it's like I said, I can't say it enough. It's gonna be strange. It's gonna be weird.
This is
but,
this is
yeah.
temporary. I know this is temporary, and I know, like, I feel it. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Like, in full force.
Mhm.
Like you were saying, there's a time to build that individual momentum.
Yeah.
And like, once the funds are good, we'll be back.
Yeah.
In full force.
Yeah. It's
Better than ever.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, it's like, it's easy to look at the negatives of a situation, but also there are many positives, you know, for sure. But wow,
Well,
you couldn't drop that on me at the beginning. No, I'm just kidding.
I wanted to let it go as
Yeah.
a slow release.
Yeah,
Because then, like, if I were to drop it like at the beginning, it would
it would
just
have
be a
like
whole different.
overshadowed the whole like,
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah,
Yeah. I wanted to.
and
like,
then we would have been bringing it up the entire time.
Yeah.
No, I understand it. Yeah, so many memories, man. So many interesting memories. So many crazy experiences. right
Yeah,
at the
man.
spot, man. Like, yeah.
So many sagas, dude. There's a lot of sagas that happened, dude.
Yeah, there
There was a
were.
lot of sagas.
There was. They were entertaining.
Dude, you know what I was thinking about
Definitely
recently is,
interesting,
damn, dude, what freaking when Rodrigo was here at the studio
Yeah.
and we went to Sequoia,
Mm-hmm.
that was a good time.
That was really nice. Yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
Freaking going to Sequoia, driving
really
out
nice.
there.
Yeah,
It's
man.
nice.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. You're gonna need help moving stuff though too.
Yeah, dude.
I'll help you out.
Let me know.
Yeah, if you need help, just let me know.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need help.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of stuff. I could always pack some stuff in my vehicle too. You know.
Oh, dude, that'd be a lot of help
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
But yeah, we're not done, dude.
we're not
This
done.
This is not the end.
yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, not happy, but
Yeah.
we'll continue.
Yes, sir.
I sound like I'm such a on such a downer, yeah, but I am bothered by it, but I'll let it slide.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, the reasoning too is like I'm not even here, and I'm spending like $400 a month like to not be here.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like
Yeah, and I'm also thinking like too right now, like you are training a lot for your for like another goal, which is great, you know, and like it will save you a lot of money for sure. It's a very frugal decision.
it is a frugal decision.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to make those hard decisions.
It is a hard it's a hard decision,
Yeah,
but I like 100% know that when the next decision is going to be made, it's going to be even better than what like now.
yeah, and yeah, and I mean, you have to do what's best for you, and like,
Yeah,
and that's I mean, who can't respect or appreciate that, you know, like
sure.
that you're trying to like you're making like the decision that you need to make, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
But I mean, like I need to record, and I'm still gonna like make music.
yeah.
So
I might
know what I mean?
actually
break down the walls, dude.
I
And
know
just, like,
I'm
make
gonna
this your own
I'm gonna
spot.
turn it into one whole huge spot.
Yeah.
Have like I'm thinking it's an idea. I'm not saying it will happen, but just ask if I could rent out both spots. Have the futon and the bed over there behind that wall, and then have like the studio spot right here.
This is still a sacred place.
Yeah,
You don't want anyone moving in here,
yeah. I don't want anyone. Yeah, it's
and I don't want anyone moving in here. I want
Yeah.
it to be still regarded as
sacred.
sacred.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, man.
This is a lot of magic has happened here in
Well-
both spots.
Well, my promise here on the cast is that if I end up taking over this spot as well, that I am going to keep the painted walls exactly the same. Over
Yeah.
here, set like it retains at least some elements of its original place, you know?
Yeah.
So like let's say we did end up doing like an audio session in here and we did like an all-nighter or whatever, like it would just still have that same aura. Like
Oh, dude, that's the thing about, like you said, that word aura is
Yeah.
that there is a certain feeling you get when you get into like a certain place. Like you feel it,
yeah.
whether it be like through memories, or I've heard it described as like memories being stored in a certain place. If that makes sense, like
Yeah, yeah.
into the walls,
Yeah, for sure.
whatever that may mean.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there it is, man.
There it is.
There it is.
Well, what time is it? 11? I'm probably gonna go out.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're probably gonna knock out because you work early.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go out, celebrate.
All right, man.
I'm gonna go out with Raphael.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is the end of the podcast
I think it's the end.
for now.
For now.
And then it would only be right if you were to be the first person on the next episode of the podcast when it revamps.
I will honestly be honored. Yeah, I'm down. I would be honored. I don't know what we would talk about, but that would be great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be something.
Till next time.
All right. The next time.
All right, guys. Well, I'll see you guys next time. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. Signing out.